two major trading partners. A quick break now to share sports news with you. Audio and to our final break now for entertainment news. Welcome back. In entertainment, the Minister of Art, Culture, Tourism and the Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, has described lead veteran actor Taiwo Hassan, popularly known as Ogogo, as more than a screen star. Musawa said the actor was a custodian of Nigerian culture and a prominent voice in Yoruba storytelling, whose discipline, talent, and dedication contributed significantly to the growth of Nollywood. The minister noted that Ogogo used his decades-long career to promote Yoruba heritage and project Nigerian traditions to audiences across the country and beyond. She said the creative industry has lost a giant whose legacy would endure through the films he made and the generations of practitioners he inspired, while extending condolences to his family, colleagues, fans, and the people of Ogun State. That's the news on Biscon TV, compiled and produced by David Asher. I am Jones Hussein. Many thanks for watching.
Or indeed a House of Assembly member seeking for votes. All of these require presentation knowledge. These are examples of types of people and situations that provoke the realization that presentation training, which includes phonetics and pronunciation. Those who read network news in NT and in FRC and BC Olati, Lola Ogumbambi, phonetics, Lola Lakija, phonetics matters, phonology matters. Sorry, sometimes we get used to the name, it falls out like that. Please excuse me and forgive me. It is very clear that airport announcers, corporate executives, teachers, journalists, and indeed anyone and everyone that needs to interface with other people, audience or voters, all need presentation trainings. Not just people that you train once in a while or people that have no speech to give. Chapter 3 is titled, You Deserve an Audience. Is also a rhetorical question. She defines an audience and states that you must know your audience, the composition of your audience, and knowledge of the coloration and demographics of that audience that you are addressing or speaking to. One useful takeaway from this chapter is where the author states categorically that it is the height of arrogance for a speaker, a politician, or a position holder to assume that your audience is duty-bound to listen to you. It is not. They have a right not to appreciate you. The audience has played its part. You must do your part. You have to play your part by communicating effectively. Otherwise, you would lose their attention within a few minutes of the presentation. Communicate with your audience, page 75. And she goes ahead, speak to your audience, not at them, by utilizing words, phrases, and sentences that invite their inclusion and welcome their participation. You try to blend into the environment. That was what the chairman did when he came in. Bankers normally are seen to be a little stiff and a little, but he connected easily. He went back to the school nearby where he went to school. What was he doing? Connecting with the audience. You try to blend with that environment, and being presentable is half the battle, because you are likely to discover that if you look good and feel good, the chances are that you will give a good account of yourself. But also, your performance should earn you recognition, not your attire. On page 76, the author restates a quote from former American President Gerald Ford, who says, I quote, "If I went back to college again, I would concentrate on 2 areas, learning to write and learning to speak before an audience. Nothing in life is more important than the ability to communicate effectively." Former President of America, Gerald Ford, unquote. In chapter 4, we are faced with a question again. We're talking about the barriers against effective presentation. These are psychological, emotional, educational, sociocultural, technical, political, and the question and answer bogey. And she goes ahead and tells you the tonal representation. Sometimes the quality of your voice, if it's a little too harsh, it turns off people. If your voice is decent and nice, it draws people closer. She explains all of these. Those 4 chapters, 4, 5, 6, and 7, are the secrets of this book. If I go too far, I'll be putting out too much about the book. So you need to buy the book to know those secrets. There are so many ways to present a program, and each speaker must choose the method that is most appropriate for him. Must choose the topic and the audience. It is possible to influence audiences when you know who they are. Tailor your vocabulary, language, and style to suit the needs and expectations of your audience. Another takeaway from this chapter is a quote by her in page 146. Understand that, like your voice, your material is an extension of you. If it lacks structure, coherence, or alignment with the topic or theme, it might suggest that you are lackadaisical or carefree. Just as you would appear in an untidy, unkempt apparel, it is essential that the context you offer commands both respect and attention. All the great speakers were once bad speakers. Nobody was born a great speaker. Very rarely. At least the day you were born, you were not speaking. So let's leave it at that. So you build it up, and Bimbo has shown you in chapter 4, 5, 6, and 7 how the skills are. It's very elaborate. I'm a lecturer. I teach mass comm as even today. So I could take a whole day on those 4 chapters. I will spare you all that. I'll go straight to chapter 8 and 9. And chapter 6 actually talks about no pain, no gain, the work you put into it. Chapter 7 talks about vocal gymnastics. Everybody who speaks well has an ability to toy with your voice, to toy with his, to use it to literally seduce you, so to speak. That is the power. And when we mentioned earlier on Barack Obama, go back to his electioneering campaign when he was campaigning for president. Barack Obama could literally just look at 100,000 people, eyeball to eyeball, and literally magically seduce them. It's a skill. It's a skill. And that skill is part of what I'm even enjoying here now, that I have silence. So, presentation is also about just not vocal gymnastics. When I was looking at the things to criticize, the book is so good, I had very little to criticize. Then I came back, I said, gymnastics. Why are you using gymnastics here? But these are the things. She tried to be able to give it a figure, a graphic picture of what it is. Vocal gymnastics, your ability to go high, low. Donald, Duke, Fola, Adiola. And we know there are areas in the book where you talk. When she teaches stress and intonation, in school, when you do phonetics and phonology, 101, English 101, you do phonetics and phonology and you know stress and intonation. In training school, Bisi Olatilo will tell you, you talk about stress and intonation. Welcome to this audience. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a book launch by Bimbo Oloyede. stress and intonation. Chapter 8 focuses on the imperative of utilization of eye contact in presentation. The author says effective communication generally does not happen in conversation or small talk. If two people consciously avoid eye contact, not to talk of when a speaker or presenter stands on a stage to address an audience. If you're a speaker of repute, your audience must be convinced that you are genuine, and your eyes must carry the conviction of your message. So you must make eye contact. If you cannot make with everybody, pick a few people, align with them, hit their eyeballs, and you'll get your audience. Very straightforward. She actually quotes a lady called Dorothy Leeds. Before you begin to speak, your eyes are your most important physical feature as a speaker because they are crucial in establishing rapport. Make eye contact with so many people in the audience as possible. Chapter 9, Showtime. She examines the gamut of a successful show featuring presentation of speakers, the music, the anthems, the ushers, the dignitaries, and all the parts of which presentation is a cynosure. Chapter 10, the last major chapter, takes a look at preparations for public life. It talks about how young people can grow and build confidence through debates, through poetry, through everything to be able to stand where we are all standing, every one of us. And she's very stressful about it that children, younger people, need to be able to find a role model, as the chairman has said. Pick somebody in the audience, begin to learn. And at the end of it, I should do a small survey. How many of you picked me as your speech model? She ends this chapter by saying, in my opinion, preparing for public life should be an intentional process. Intentional process. Communication is an essential tool that can be used to improve public life and governance because the constant exchange of information between the government and the government is what guides society. As a fitting end to this book review, I go back to the foreword written by former Lagos State Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola. Madam, your Oga wrote this foreword to this book. And he said, to say that the author has done many of us a world of immense good is an understatement. For many years on television and on stage, she held us spellbound with her power of the word and her presence. I didn't have time to talk about presence. In this presentation, she shares her experiences. There's so many areas she gives us life experiences of what she went through. The author has been extremely generous in the treatment of these important items of preparations in the art of public speaking. Quote and unquote, Babatunde Raji Fashola, SAN. Thank you very much.
Please don't stop clapping now. Clapping now. Thank you very much. You know, when you've done something wrong here, there's this, you start to fidget. I was standing there and immediately looked to the side. I was looking for a window to jump through. According to Command Your Stage 2024 Loyalty, having invested so much time to prepare, make sure you rehearse and eventually get constructive feedback. So thank you so much, Dr. Nasiri Danladi Bako, the former Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, for that correction. I take the fall. Clap for me now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, the good thing is, I did say when we started that if I do well, you can use me as a case study. If I don't do well, you can use me as a scapegoat. So that was just me being scapegoated. And I take it as fine. All right, thank you so much once again. Very quickly, we're going to be having the goodwill message. Because of our time, we'll just be taking the goodwill message from one person. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I welcome Mrs. Adeola Aziz for the goodwill message.
Good morning. Thank you. I'm not even going to try to attempt to recognize the dignitaries that Auntie Bimbo has attracted to this auspicious occasion. She deserves all of us and many more because she has done us all so proud by coming up with this book that is so well needed across every one of us. I am very thrilled, and I want to thank you, Auntie Bimbo, for inviting and allowing me the honor and privilege to command your stage this morning. Thank you, Auntie Bimbo. Now, as you may imagine, I cannot speak at any event without mentioning or referring to WIMBIS, Women in Management and Public Service. Your impact at the 22nd Annual WIMBIS Conference, where you chaired the two-day event last year in November, still resonates and reverberates. You not only commanded the stage, but also captivated and inspired the over 2,000 women in the room, holding them again spellbound. I am Adeola Aziz, and I wear many caps. Today, I am a public speaker enthusiast. I am a corporate politician, meaning, let me qualify it, a professional in politics, not a professional politician. I am a lawyer, and from my very early years, when I represented my schools in literary and debating society events. Holy child, where are you? I want your voice. Action! Again, action! Thank you. I knew from very early on the importance of why you must speak properly. From your diction to your pronunciation, on how you articulate and project and inflect your tone, called stress and intonation. I learned that today. We don't want to hear wish-wash children shush, do we? No, that is not good speaking. When I am asked to speak, I like to arrest the audience, like I have arrested you now. I like the attention, and you will listen. When they shake or nod, it is a sign that I'm connecting and going somewhere. When this is not the case, I'm either not making any sense, or I am talking nonsense, which is hardly the case. A couple of years after my law degree in 1983, my second degree, I recall enrolling at the College of Public Speaking in London. Vince Stevenson, a director, taught us how to breathe in and out. Shake your shoulders, relax, and project your voice. He said, make sure that as you are about to speak, look around the room. The audience are looking at you. They are watching how you even walked up the stage. Your takeoff is very important in any area that you're about to speak, whether it's a conference, giving a toast, or giving even an opening prayer, because how you take off depends on how the ride will end. Auntie Bimbo, not only have you commanded hundreds and hundreds of stages, you also invaded all our homes in Nigeria and beyond during your newscasting years. Did we love watching you read the news? Of course, yes. Did we have fathers, including mine, and grandfathers, when you were reading the news saying, "Quiet, please, my girlfriend is on the air"? And you can see the mothers and grandmothers giving dad the eye at my girlfriend. Thank you for Strictly Speaking. Thank you for Command Your Stage. Ladies and gentlemen, as I round up, realize that you have a voice. Your voice is life. Use it properly and command the stage of life. And please, buy the book. Again, I am Adiola Aziz. I am possible. I thrive. And I think I have commanded the stage. Thank you for listening.
The final words were the words that stuck. You have a what? Please do what? Thank you. You're good students. Please, a round of applause once again for Mrs. Adiola Aziz. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that. Thank you. So this is an order from above. So by the power vested on me, we're going to be having two more short, God knows I don't know if that English is correct, but we're going to be having two more short goodwill messages. So very quickly, I'm going to be inviting upstage Mrs. Comfort Obot Nwako for her goodwill message. A round of applause, please.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's really my pleasure and honor that I stand before you to celebrate the launch of Command Your Stage, a remarkable work by esteemed colleague and friend. In a world where clear and compelling communication can make the difference between success and failure, Command Your Stage therefore serves as both a guide and an inspiration. It meticulously documents the experiences of the author, offering valuable insight and practical strategies that are indispensable for beginners and seasoned professionals alike. The need for excellence in presentation and delivery extends beyond individual growth. It is crucial for corporate governance and national development. By sharing her knowledge and expertise, the author has provided us with a powerful tool to enhance the communication skills, foster better understanding, and drive positive change within our communities and organizations. As we celebrate this milestone, let us remember the importance of commanding our stage, whatever it may be. Let us embrace the principles outlined in this book, striving for excellence in every speech, presentations, and interactions. On behalf of members of the foremost chapter of the best profession on earth, public relations, and Lagos as a center of excellence, we want to congratulate you once again and hope that this significant achievement will be propelled. But before I leave, I want to remember what Oga Danlari said. We want to push it to those that do not have the opportunities like this to hear and to know that they can command their stage. wherever they are. Thank you very much.
Are we learning? Are we learning? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking one more goodwill message, and it's the last but most definitely not the least. Please join me as I welcome Mr. Donald Duke to take us through the last goodwill message.
Ladies and gentlemen, and the author, Bimbo Oloyede, Bimbo Roberts Oloyede. Good afternoon. Do not attempt to adjust from where you are, because there's nothing wrong. I'm taking control as to bring you this special show, and I will return it to you as soon as you're grooved. Welcome to Command Your Stage, top of the charts in Lagos. I'm going to give you 500 kilowatts of real funk vibes. So sit back, dig, while I'm doing your eardrums. This is Donald Duke, last of the home lot suckers. Now, this is all I want you to do, y'all. If you got faults, defects, or shortcomings such as arthritis, rheumatism, or migraines, whatever part of your body it is, I want to lay it right down here, because you see, public speaking not only moves, it can remove. Dig. The desired effect is what you get when you improve your interplanetary functions. So, good afternoon, everyone. I needed to get your attention, and I have it. Speaking in public is an interesting thing, but let me remind all of us this saying. You know, we say light travels faster than sound. So some people appear very bright until you hear them speak. The point I'm making here is, if you have nothing to say, no amount of elocution, intonation, up and down will help you. So prepare yourself as you come on this stage. Now, I was never told I was going to give a goodwill speech, but there I was, encouraging the president of Met Club and the chairman of this occasion that yes, we should have two others. I didn't know I was setting up myself. So I had to come in here and give you that piece of bullshit to start off with, to get myself together. Now, Mr. President, I don't know if I've offended you today. You called my name here about 4 or 5 times. Whatever I have done, Emma Binu, I'm sorry. Okay? You took us through the book, so we don't need to read it any longer, except chapters 4 to 8 to get the secrets. You know why I'm wearing this? And there's a story behind this. In 1992, I was a very young commissioner for finance in Cross River State. And there was a military workshop in Calabar. And all the military brass were there. And the Chief of Defense Staff and Minister for Defense was a man called General Sani Abacha. I was a chaperone. Quite an interesting character. Nocturnal. Won't go to bed till about 3 a.m. So one day I said to him, General, why do you always wear sunglasses, even in a room and all that? He said, I'm very shy. I said, you? He said, yes. People don't realize this. He was a very So I'm wearing this today because indeed I am shy. I'm shy 3 months. This is the second occasion I'm present in which Bimbo is being celebrated. And I left office 17 years ago and no one has celebrated me. That's why I'm shy. So I need to get my act together. Maybe I should write a book. Command Your Stage. Well, I've offended you. I know I've offended you. I know I've offended you. I'm sorry. People, congratulations. Having the audacity, the courage to put pen to paper, particularly in your profession, is audacious, but is also a mark of confidence. You've done well. You'll always be celebrated. Now, Daniel, one last point. You wanted the students from Okitikupa. You didn't speak their English. Oh. You didn't speak their English at all. You came up with some, even the chairman was complaining. But you're right. I'm glad the children are here because all that we do now is for your sake. Thank you.
I'm not trying to sound like a broken siren, but wow, 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 wow. A round of applause, please. It's a pleasure, really, being here. And I want to say once again, thank you so much, Mr. Donald Duke, for that. Thank you. Okay, without wasting time, we're going to be going into the next session or segment now. Apologies. We will be going into, because I know somebody's going to come and correct me. Man, this is not easy. Clap for me. I'm trying. There's so much pressure. So we'll be going to the next segment now, and that's the Legacy Champion Awards. And I'll be handing over to two esteemed people. One of them is an innovative thinker, a visionary, and a networking expert. And he's been whispering in my ears throughout today. And then the other one is my able producer, one who I can listen to all day, speak. Those are none other than Mr. Jide Benson and Miss Bukola Oloyede. Please, a round of applause for them as they come handle this.
A dark pair of glows, so I'm not shy. My name is Jide Benson. I'd like to welcome every one of you to Command Your Stage, put together by, to some, she's Auntie Bimbo, to some, she's Mommy, and to some, she's a professional colleague. And I'd like to congratulate you once again. But I want to take a moment to look for trouble. I'm assuming that it's 9 p.m., and it's about time for us to listen to NTA News. And you know that soundtrack, don't you? Now, I excuse those of you from Vivian Fowler and Igbobi College and what have you. But the Ancient of Days in front.
I'm not there, OGD.
The Dr. Omoles and Dr. Olagujus and Mr. Fola Adeola and Basharon Dele Momodu. We all know that soundtrack, don't we? Are we ready? Da-da, da-da, da-da. Gong, 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 gong. Girl, girl, girl. Girl, 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 girl. No be so? Put your hands together for yourselves. All right, we'll all agree that effective communication is key to our well-being, corporate existence, and national life. It is also true that although we are keen to develop our skills in ways that enhance our performance in the workplace, we often forget the important role that communication plays. Even if we remember its use, we often didn't consider that engaging with the public is another vital skill that we should take on board.
That's right, Jide. But the question is, who will be responsible for ensuring that these skills are taught? We feel that it is important to honor and encourage some of the facilitators who are fostering the development of young people and urge them to include the crucial skills of effective communication, public speaking, presentation, as a necessary part of their education and training.
Today, we want to recognize 6 of such people. We refer to them as legacy champions, and we intend to pass on the baton of effective communication to them. In this audience are several professional communicators who have dedicated their careers to connecting with various audiences. They include, but are not limited to, Chief Bisi Olatilo, Pastor Lola Alakija, Dr. Shola Omoli, Dr. Waid Olaguju Basharon Dele Momodu. And of course, perhaps one of the best things to happen to Cross River State in his time as governor, Mr. Donald Duke. Please put your hands together for him.
Well, I think I have to mention Dr. Ikechukwu Obiaya because I'm a bit partial to him. He was my teacher at SMC, and I don't want to get
Before Abraham, Jesus was. Before he was your teacher, he was my teacher.
Exactly.
Please put your hands together for the Dean, School of Media and Communication, Pan Atlantic University.
Well, they are all witnesses to this short ceremony, and we trust that our legacy champions will not let them down. They say that the young shall grow. So we are going to ask some of our students represented here to read out today's citations. They are members of their school debating societies, and we want them to have an opportunity of speaking to an audience. After all, this is Command Your Stage. So the first legacy champion to be recognized is Barrister Prada Uzodinma, PhD. Please take center stage while Adeboyega Oluwapelumi from Igbobi College will read your citation.
Uzodinma is an accomplished legal practitioner, possessing expertise in contract law and maritime law. She holds an LLB from the University of Surrey and an LLM in maritime law from the University of Southampton. She was also awarded an honorary Doctor of Civil Law, honoris causa, by ESGT University, Benin, in recognition of her unwavering commitment to excellence and best practices within the legal sector. Barrister Uzodinma appreciates the opportunity she was given to actualize her dream of becoming a lawyer. Furthermore, she recognizes the passion of other aspiring lawyers to achieve the same goal. She launched the Prada Uzodinma Law School Scholarship Grant, the PUSG, a commendable initiative aimed at alleviating financial challenges faced by young individuals pursuing a career in law. PUSG was initiated in partnership with the law firm Principal Legal Consults and their sponsorship of the legal education of 30 successful recipients since inception has been applauded by several notable dignitaries. Lawyers are not the only group of Nigerians that enjoy the patronage of Prada Uzodinma. She co-founded the Ability Life Initiative, TALI, a foundation dedicated to bridging the gap and advocating for the rights of individuals living with disabilities. This house applauds Prada Uzodinma's notable achievements, philanthropic efforts, and her commitment to promoting inclusivity. We call upon her to further dedicate her time and resources to building the capacity of lawyers to communicate effectively. We also encourage her to reposition persons living with disabilities to negotiate their well-being and defend their rights by learning to speak confidently for themselves. Thank you.
Ashoru Dele Momodu. Thank you.
Congratulations, Barrister Uzodinma.
Thank you, sir. One more, please.
Mr. Adebola Williams. Mr. Adebola Williams, can we have Mrs. Isabella to please represent Mr. Adebola Williams of Red Media, as I invite Azima Davis from Vivian Fowler Memorial College for Girls to read his citation. Can we please have Azima?
I'll be reading the citation of Mr. Adebola Williams. Mr. Adebola Williams is a media entrepreneur, journalist, political consultant, and motivational speaker who is passionate not only about changing Africa's narrative, but also about reshaping Africa's political landscape. Adebola Williams is a communication strategist and a political consultant who has been recognized by Forbes and CNN as the man who galvanized youth voting blocs across Africa to elect 3 presidents. He's the group CEO of Red Africa, which he co-founded, and whose portfolio includes on- and offline unique media brands such as Statecraft Inc., The Future Awards Africa, and Why Niger. Mr. Williams has focused his attention on tomorrow's leaders. He and his team have created opportunities for the younger generation to make informed decisions. Through Statecraft Inc., a leading political and policy consulting firm, young people are learning about citizen engagement and the value it adds to the governance process. For almost 15 years, young Nigerians have also gained tremendously from two creative initiatives. First, they have been able to keep up with the latest information and ideas on a variety of contemporary subjects through the popular blog known as Why Niger. Secondly, the Future Awards Africa project offers a unique opportunity to recognize outstanding young people between the ages of 18 and 31. The awards have been described as Nigeria's most important awards for outstanding young Nigerians. When it comes to the field of marketing and communications, Adebola Williams has shown his versatility by serving various key sectors of the economy. From oil and gas to technology, and from banking to consumer goods, he and the Red Media Africa team have earned themselves several global awards. This house recognizes the deliberate and conscious efforts Adebola Williams has made to impact the world and create his own reality, all before attaining the age of 40. We acknowledge his understanding of partnerships and teamwork and urge him to adopt that model to further influence the teeming youth with which he engages, so that they too can learn the skills that have enabled him to speak at summits, conferences, and Ivy League schools around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as we welcome Mr. Adebola Williams. Represented by Ms. Isabella.
And to present the award, I'd like to invite Dame.
In recognition of Adebola Williams' contributions to human expression and development, I present this award to you on his behalf. God bless you.
To the center, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. Isabella wasn't prepared for that, but to take center stage whilst Alma Ukachi reads the citation. Alma Ukachi is from St. Jude's Private Secondary School. The next person we want to highlight. Okay, Dr. Amina Salihu, represented by Roberta Okereke. She's the Experience Lead, School of Politics, Policy, and Governance. So please welcome Alma Ukachi.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to present a citation on Dr. Amina Salihu. The history of the growth of Nigeria's vibrant civil society sector cannot be written without including the name of Dr. Amina Salihu. Amina is a political scientist by training, a feminist by conviction, a farmer by vocation, and a philanthropist by inclination. Dr. Amina A. Salihu is the Deputy Director of the MacArthur Foundation Africa Office, which focuses on inclusive grant-making, communication, program development, and networking. She holds a BSc and MSc from Ahmadu Bello University and a PhD from the University of Abuja. Born to make impact in all her endeavors, the founder of the Habiba Dangana Foundation is an honorary advisor to various governments and civil society organizations, a member of several professional associations, and chairs multiple advisory teams and boards. She's also on the board of trustees for the Unity Schools Old Students Association. This former lecturer of public policy at the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, also coordinated DFID and UKAID's C4C program, served as senior special assistant to the Minister of Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory, and initiated the Abuja Town Hall meeting to improve government community engagement. She established the Nigerian Women's Trust Fund, Nigeria's first sexual offender database, and initiated major maternal health initiatives and educational programs for out-of-school girls. In recognition of her talents and experience, she was appointed the Pioneer Dean of the Unconventional Virtual School of Policy, Politics, and Governance, which has already been duplicated in Senegal, while talks are ongoing with Ghana, Kenya, and Zimbabwe. As the Deputy Director of the MacArthur Foundation Africa Office, she has supported several civil society organizations vested in communication and governance projects, and has also facilitated the training of numerous journalists. This house recognizes that Dr. Amina Salihu is passionate about human capital development, gender equity, and social inclusion. We urge our legacy champion to also embrace effective communication in its entirety and build the capacity of young Nigerians to speak with confidence in public. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a woman full of integrity, a distinguished awardee, Dr. Amina Salihu.
Represented by Roberta Okereke.
In recognition of your ongoing contributions to human expression and development, I am most delighted to present this to you on behalf of Madam Bimbo Oloyede and her establishment for this great achievement. Congratulations. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Is the Executive Director and CEO of the Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism, WSCIJ. For almost 2 decades, she has cut a clear path as a social entrepreneur who is passionate about journalism and media innovation. She leads WSCIJ's strategic initiatives, manages stakeholder relationships, and shows by example that excellence should not be compromised for any reason. She has undoubtedly contributed to the rising standard of investigative journalism in Nigeria and broadened its horizons by initiating important investigative reporting projects on education, oil and gas, and women's rights. By so doing, she has significantly empowered journalists to speak truth to power and challenge the status quo in these areas. In 2014, she launched the Report to Women program, which has trained 537 female journalists and produced 86 fellows. As a result of this initiative, the center was able to commission 131 stories, which have benefited over 2,930 people. In general, however, Mrs. Alaka has trained over 7,000 reporters, facilitated over 1,000 stories, and mentored numerous journalists. Popularly known as Madam Intentional by the Report Women beneficiaries, she has established a network of female journalists who are united in their bid to write creative and impactful sorites and reports, thereby change gender and development narratives. Mrs. Moturayo also heads the collaborative media engagement for development, inclusivity, and accountability, C-Media project, involving 26 partner organizations, and coordinates the media and journalism MAJ cohorts under the MacArthur Foundations on Nigeria program. This house congratulates this Stanford University Draper Hills Fellow in 2018 and John S. Knight Journalism Fellow in 2020 for her consistency in promoting journalistic excellence. We call upon Mrs. Moturayo Alaka to extend the expertise of journalists and young professionals who represent several platforms of communication to include confident and professional self-expression so that their position as members of the fourth estate of the realm becomes non-negotiable. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome Mrs. Moturayo Alaka.
Bimbo, before I present this award, looking back some 40 years ago, there is a little confession I got to make. You know, when we Catholics go to confession, at the end of it all, the priest will say, "Go and sin no more." When young Bimbo Rob
Hello, we have reported for duty, as you can see, because the newspapers are here, and so we make to share the headline stories with you. But my co-anchor is the one you already know, is the inimitable Aki Fatunke. I greet you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jones. Always a pleasure to be with you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time you watch this podcast.
All right. New Telegraph is the new first paper here, and the lead story: why APC NWC members lost out in presidential campaign council appointments.
Politics
did you see this coming?
Yes, I saw it coming. Okay. First of all, so many people appointed. Again, it calls into question of the check, recheck, uncheck, and before we eventually go public. It's becoming one time too many. And I was going to say that politics is defined as who gets what, who, where, and how. And what. So we should, one expects that this kind of thing will naturally happen. Just give us a refined product, but we should not be going to and fro on issues like this.
All right, Ndume to opposition. Sell your ideas to Nigerians. Stop dwelling on Tinubu's certificate.
100%. Nothing to add, nothing to deduct. Thank you.
Fubara reaffirms commitment to fiscal discipline, the defense payroll cleanup.
Now, Fubara, after the EPS storms, has a little time, if you ask me,
to reflect,
to to underscore legacy, and whatever he does now and does it well, will stand in for him. Well, they say talk is cheap, but let's see how that manifests.
2027, Oberevori's performance beyond challenge, says Aniago.
Okay, well, always one side of looking at the coin, and as you always say,
the coin has three sides.
Thank you very much. So the other side will say something, and those of us who stay on the sideline will be able to judge. Time will tell.
US set to revoke 200,000 visas, officials say.
Okay, well, so as usual, you should expect that will also include just own sincerely country, Nigeria, many countries in Africa.
Yeah, the country reserves the right to determine who comes in or goes out.
Okay.
Nigeria loses $17.72 billion to illicit financial flows.
That has been stemmed in the tide, let me say. The velocity of such losses since the Cardoso-led CBN monetary system, but we are still not there, not yet to Huru. We can still do more.
NNPC, others, BWSAP to attract $21 billion investment to Nigeria.
Another green mark. Biro green mark to tell you that the investment policies of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu
yielding results?
Is yielding relative, superlative results.
Okay.
Did you notice what I said? Relative, depending on where you stand, but superlative results.
Yeah.
If you look at the situations where it could have been worse, the whole could have been deeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Edo Assembly converts ex-speaker's resignation to impeachment.
They say when it rains, it was. The fire next time. Baldwin, I'm quoting.
Okay.
The beleaguered speaker.
Mhm.
I wish him well, and I wish Edo State well.
NAFDAC to manufacturers. Recall banned sachet alcohol, small PET bottles in circulation now.
You know, it's gone a bit. Mrs. Adeyeye has paid her dues, and
You mean Professor Adeyeye?
Professor
Adeyeye.
Mrs. Adeyeye
Yeah.
has repeatedly said what needs to be said. I know opposition at one point in time when they went on Nisha said, it might just be that you are taking the livelihood of people, but we must be strict. We must have the human face, and again, for an umpteenth time, I think we should try and comply.
All right. Gunmen release video showing 600 people abducted from Niger Mosque.
Citizen Jones.
We should call the bluff of these people.
As we move towards 2027, what you have just read as a headline is going to be the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
God bless Nigeria.
2027, Obi, Amechi, Showore clash at NBA's conference.
It was a real
Bound to be
clash.
so.
I don't know if you watched it. Citizen Jones. It was Showore shooting from the hips. It was no more a saber rattle. And of course, Amechi was
Stood his ground.
No, I mean, fighting virtually to try and
stop Showore,
disprove Showore. But Showore kept on saying, "Look, I'm not attacking you, but look, your records are not showing." And also said in the open about Peter Obi that you may like Peter Obi, you may shout about Peter Obi, audience, but Peter Obi's records of governance in Anambra State was not much to be desired. So the brickbats went on, and then they threw his own back at him. In fact, a high point was when Mr. Peter Obi got up and he was going to quote some statistics, and then his tongue got twanged,
Okay.
And a few people at the back were
Okay,
saying,
it was a fireworks. It was fireworks.
That what would be crammed, the numbers statistically crammed, that they were
Mr.
going to
Hatuka,
fail.
put simply, it was fireworks on display.
Fireworks and anti-fireworks.
All right. Decaf coffee may benefit gut brain health, according to a study.
Okay, studies also say it may not benefit depending on your composition, your body. But let the research continue.
Daily Sun. Next. APC will remain in power beyond 2031, boasts Yari, Tinubu's campaign DG.
Oh, well. So
says Atiku will be others incapable of stopping president.
Okay, so that's one side of it. The other side will come smoking like smoking guns, and then we'll see what the side will say.
All right.
Time of politics.
Anglican bishop to federal government. Stop denying hardship in Nigeria.
Honestly speaking, I agree with Anglican bishops that there is hunger in Nigeria. Citizen Jones, I am not aware that even you as a broadcaster have ever said there is no hunger in Nigeria and me. But what is very interesting is that the federal government also has acknowledged. So do we really need the Anglican to now then say, the federal government should not deny? Federal government should not deny. Of course, the Anglicans should also talk to the subnationals who are in charge of making sure.
So governance is a two-way street.
Three-way street.
Okay, there's a third side.
Yes.
Okay.
Be neutral. We expect neutrality from church, from mosques, from
the pulpit and the member.
Yes, sir, exactly.
Okay. Stop divisive utterances, actions. Tinubu warns Nigerians.
More than timely. And it should not just be Tinubu. All opposition leaders should say and do the same thing. But I'm happy that President Bola Tinubu is leading the pack here, there, and of course, Bob stops on the table. So it's made it clear.
Okay. Return to fuel subsidy will reverse economic gains, federal government.
Do
you share the sentiment?
The discussions is continuing. is discontinuing, but I can say perhaps you and perhaps Nigerians are talking about removal of fuel subsidy or no removal of fuel subsidy. But as somebody who has been in the industry for past 30 years, we have been talking about the issue of removal of fuel subsidy 30 years ago. So you know where I stand.
All right. Ogun APC crisis deepens. Leaders fight dirty.
Well, you have to continue the gladiators. And I have a gut feel that the Grand Master of Politics itself, himself, President Bola Tinubu, as the leader, will have some calming influence after the storm.
Okay. U.S. pledges $125,000 to preserve 4,000-year-old Enugu iron smelting site.
Good point.
Okay.
Governor Peter Obi, let me...
Peter Mba.
Peter Mba.
Yeah, okay.
Governor Peter Mba, let me say congratulations for that. Let me also say, beyond what I should naturally say to the whole of Nigeria and federal government, your governance at the subnational level in Nigeria is a great record. Your green intervention is a national record. So one of the best performing governors in Nigeria today.
Nigeria's external reserves gained $7.09 billion, hit $52.66 billion.
In economic financial terms, you talk about covers for how many months that is going to cover to help boost stability.
All right.
Congratulations, Nigeria. Congratulations, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's a nice one.
This day, next. The lead story. NNPC, ESO, Ajib move towards FID target $21 billion inflow.
A great moment for Nigeria. More than ever, the policies of the federal government of Nigeria is attracting foreign investments, direct and portfolio. Shell that left the shores of Nigeria and said they will never come back are not only coming back, but they are putting and dipping in. Congratulations to Nigeria. What we just want to see is how this has created to help buoy the stability that we have and then let it percolate to the downtrodden.
Mine is the name ESO. Is coming back.
Super.
Okay. Kwankwaso, APC's presidential campaign council represents continuous hardship.
Well, it also represents continuous stability, if you like to say. Like I said earlier, there are three sides. So the APC chairman has made a point. Kwankwaso is also making a point. It's like, pot calling the kettle black. They are all shame of shame. Interesting times ahead.
Tinubu pays glowing tribute to Sultan of Sokoto, Saad Mohammed Abubakar III at 70.
Congratulations, the Sultan. And please note on this, I will not call Sultan by first name. I'll call him Alhaji Abubakar, Saad of Sokoto. Congratulations, great one.
All right, IGP, securing Nigeria comes at heavy cost. Honors 10 fallen police officers.
There's absolutely no doubt about that. And I join
the IG, the police family.
Inspector General of Police Tunji Disu to mourn these fallen police officers. Hopefully, unexpectedly, their insurance will pay to their families.
US imposes sweeping new sanctions on Iran, targets oil traders, shadow fleet, and others.
The battle is yet to be over in what we have in the Middle East and the US. I join people who pray that sanity will prevail.
Okay. So we are done with this day. Next will be the Nigerian Tribune. The Tribune is here. The lead story is also here. Fuel subsidy sparks debate at NBA conference in Rivers.
That was the bring back, the one I mentioned here and there. Name calling. What did you do? A rail that you built during Buhari's time leading to nowhere. And then, of course, people now say, Showore, why you are always accusing. What exactly can you do? And then he came firing at all cylinders, like I said earlier. It was an interesting, you call it fireworks. Yes. Fireworks and brimstone.
All right. NNPC, Shell, others signed Bonga Southwest Akparo deal, target FID.
Super time for Nigeria, super time for the oil and gas industry. We ain't seen nothing yet. Let's fix our security and let's fix our politics.
Police honor 10 fallen officers as IG vows to crush banditry and others after Kebbi battle.
I touch my cap in honor of the fallen police officers. And my heart, my soul, my spirit goes to the families left behind.
2027, INEC yet to get full funding 5 months to general election.
But again, at the end of the day, INEC will not be the one that everybody's going to be accusing.
The fall guy.
The fall guy. So that is calling on all parties, federal government inclusive, please release the funds that have been appropriated.
All right. 2 killed as NURTW motor park officials clash in Oshun.
Terrible. Again, as we move towards the elections, more blood will flow, but I pray I'm wrong.
JAM automates candidates' O-level results upload, begins direct verification with exam bodies.
Super. Congratulations, Professor. You are starting on a very good note.
Right.
Let's make sure that we use technology to cure some of the ailments that has bedeviled that institution.
All right. Nigeria lost $1.73 billion to flooding in 3 years.
Again, flooding and flooding and flooding and flooding. The Lagdo Dam hopefully should be receiving some kind of attention. And people who are in lowlands should please heed the warning by EMS.
All right. There's a study here released recently. It said climbing stairs linked to 39% lower risk of heart disease death.
Well, common sense tells me that when you are climbing the stairs, you don't need to race.
Yeah.
You need to be able to pause. You need to be able to, as much as possible, hold the railings against falls.
Okay.
Careful is the word.
All right. Tinubu flags off dualization of 56.5 kilometer Ibadan-Ijebu-Ode road.
Okay, that will be an inner road. We seek the government to also look at the Edo angle.
Oh, yeah.
The Edo Delta angle.
Okay. Vanguard newspaper. Opposition parties lash Yari over APC will rule beyond 2031 vow.
It's the other side of what we said. PDP at one time said they were going to rule for 60 years. And,
they didn't mean 60 or 16.
Well, they said they were going to be 60. And less than 4 or 5 years after.
Okay. So it's politics.
No. It's politics.
All right. Between filth and survival, the hard life along the canal.
It's terrible. Lagos is full of filth. Governor Sanwo-Olu, this is not a bright moment. No matter the excuses that we have, Lagos is full of filth.
Okay. Fake agency. Court order protects us, says DG marked for arrest.
So let's see how the court order will continue to fix. Don't forget the wheel of justice grinds slowly, but grinds perfectly well. And everything will come to a comeuppance.
I think the Yorubas have a phrase relevant here. Aitete mole.
Ole nsalo.
Ole mole le or something.
Okay, well, aitete mole.
When
the bandit or the thief comes to your house and you don't shout and you don't catch him, he will call you the culprit.
Yeah. Tinubu, Abiodun, others mourn as late actor Ogogo is buried.
Ogogo.
Good night, brother.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
your legacy continues.
NBA confirmed Obi disagrees with Atiku on fuel subsidy removal.
Again, what Obi said resonates with me personally. You do not throw away the baby with the bathwater. If the bathwater is bad, you can change, the water. First major crack, but people are still reading a lot of politics because Atiku is Obi's uncle, quote unquote. And as we move on, you will see alignment.
All right, US warns Nigerians over fake documents in visa applications.
Again, so those who go to procure, the world is a secret now.
Those who want to vote by hook or crook must think twice.
AI will vote you out, superior technology will vote you out. Be very careful.
Underage drinking, NAFDAC begins street-by-street alcohol crackdown.
Positive one, irrespective of the cacophonous that is coming from certain quarters.
NKST Church rejects Benue ranching plan.
Well, I don't know what really is entailed, but ranching is the way to go.
Yeah.
Maybe they are trying to wiggle and woggle on certain things about land ownership, which, from experience, carefulness has to come into being. But ranching is the way to go.
All right. Awujale's tool. Royal family drags Ogun governor kingmakers to court.
I think it's getting a bit early, and there's no way that the politics will not be read into this. The Ogun State governor, Mr. Dapo Abiodun, needs to rise above the fray and do what is needful.
The Guardian here. The lead story also here. Commuters, businesses groan as Edo Delta gridlock cuts off South-South.
I have seen a couple of clips. I have made personal remarks as regards how people have escalated that.
Yeah.
It is now very glaring that the suffering on that road is unbearable.
In fact, photographs on the front page of the Guardian underscore what you're saying.
It is most unfortunate. Mr. David Umahi has made some moves. He moves to move fast. Okwevolo is not sitting very pretty in the eyes of the opposition. And these are some of the things that can be done in a jiffy. Please, higher cry.
All right. 2027, Nigeria needs faithful, not religious president, says Ido Fieron.
Mr. Ferron, not only faithful, balanced, not religious, and those who exacerbated the religious and religiosity type of politics about calling elections in 2023 as war. I hope adequate lessons have been learned. It shouldn't be. We need competence, we need fairness, we need equity, and we also need, at the end of the day, a Nigeria that can work.
CDHR, that's Community for the Defense of Human Rights, demands probe of fake government agencies. We do too.
We have discovered two down. We don't know how many more that we have. I like to say, without fear of contradiction, the Office of the Secretary to the Government of Nigeria has had more than enough own goals. Self-introspection to come into it. This is embarrassing.
All right. Dangote halts blend stock imports as domestic petrol supply falls 21%.
Again, Dangote as the man to beat, as a man that has a vision
and a mission
and values to go with it. I think if he says that is what is going to happen, let's listen, let's do rectification if there is any, and let's also support if there's any need to support.
All right. Banks account for 92% of suspicious transactions filed in 2025.
Again, we are talking about illicit financial flows, drugs, money, Yahoo, and some of the things that go under that we hardly can be able to see. I'm happy that the CBN governor will be looking at the call that has been made at fintechs to also be listed on the stock exchange, hopefully, and governments will be able to look at that.
Yeah.
Not yet Uhuru, but we are on our way.
All right. Obi Showore differ with Atiku over proposed return of petrol subsidy.
Again, when you separate men from boys, you'll be able to get the truth. I disagree that Atiku should not be listened to. Let's listen to him. Let's draw the scenarios. You know, there is a Yoruba saying that if there is a spitting in the eye, you do not see it, the eye will not see it, but you take your finger, remove the spitting, and then be able to see. So realistically, we can't go back to our, to our Babylon, and we must press forward. But Atiku's position about where the money is going, the kind of priorities and all that is also something that we should consider. Mm-hmm.
But as the former vice president forgotten that his state Adamawa collects more money from the federation account.
Well, so
ostensibly coming from the subsidy removal.
Okay, so let me help you answer that and bury it. So what is that money being used for?
So that's the question.
No. The question has been answered. Governor Sule is building the largest lithium assembly plant in Africa. It's there for everybody to see. Well, at least
so he has money to do.
He has money to do that.
Okay.
And if we go back to subsidy, we have to close that kind of plant.
All right. States impose hidden fees on operators despite slashing ROW charges.
Return on investment charges. Again, we must continue to keep our eyes on sharp practices that might go on. But I'm confident that we have a headmaster. And the one I call a headmaster is Dr. Yemi Cardoso, and it's spread in terms of control.
Yeah.
And anyone that is caught should be really penalized.
Awujale, Funsegbowa ruling house sues Abiodun kingmakers over delayed selection.
The Funsegbowa ruling house, they've been on this for a long time. And Governor Abiodun, this is the time for you to act.
Okay.
Yes.
Oshun, 2 feared dead as violence rocks Ikire community.
Okay. The transport union workers. Oshun has shed enough blood in the last 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Enough should be enough.
Nigeria advances $21 billion Bonga Deepwater project 25 years after.
Super thanks for Nigeria. Congratulations, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
All right. Next, we deal with the nation. The nation is here. And the lead story is also here. Why coalition consensus failed by Atiku Obi Showore.
Okay, so we are not going to field failure come January. So the earlier they are able to get themselves together,
the better.
Not just the better. Let Obi fly the ticket and everybody line behind him. Obi, swallow your pride. Showore, swallow your pride. Let Atiku fly the ticket so that you can find a way to slug it out with Tinubu.
All right, governors won't have absolute control of state police.
If you read the police, there are checks and balances that even Mr. President, even state governors will not have direct control. Everybody should play their own parts.
Play by the rules.
The state assemblies, the national assemblies have to play their parts. So if everything goes that way, there's really no fear or little fear.
All right. How terrorism financiers hide funds by NFIU.
Yes, they hide funds by collaboration, they hide funds by insider, and they hide funds by, people
insider participation
in high places.
Okay.
It's unfortunate.
Ibadan Ijebode dualized road ready in 36 months.
Congratulations to that internal road that is going, in spite of Sokoto Badagry still on, Lagos Calabar still on. I think that should be intensified. Please, let's look at the South, the Edo, bypass, the Benin bypass.
Minister, NEL Fund has disbursed 332 billion naira as student loan.
Either way you look at it, I dare say congratulations again to Nigerians under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's something to be commended.
Okay. Crowd watches as Senator Goje reaffirms APC membership in Gombe.
So?
Senator Goje is coming back.
Oh, well. He has always been talking tough. It's good to have it. Oh, no, sorry. I'm
mixing
him up with the senator in Borno.
Okay.
Again, he has made that reaffirmation. It's not the first time. It's not the second time that he says it's good to be in there with APC, swim or sing.
Tinubu leads tribute for Ogogo as Nollywood actor is buried.
Super.
Yeah.
Ogogo.
Good night.
Go in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
At 66 years old.
As they say, Ogogo is in a better place now.
Wow. You have left a legacy.
The Punch. Next. Terrorists using dead persons' accounts and crowdfunding, NFIU.
Again, we must find a way to audit around the computer forensics. As long as it is not going to be garbage in, garbage out, and internal collaboration, we'll get there.
US steps up military training for Nigerian troops.
Okay, right. Again, contrary to what?
As the US Africa Command.
Exactly. That's a nice indicator. There are people in opposition who are still insisting that US should do the otherwise to Nigeria. But the headline that you have read there proves contrary.
Poor varsity rankings could stunt Africa's growth, Jonathan.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A journey of 1,000 miles, let's begin with the first step. That fund that's coming, first time since God knows when. Let's unearth our talent and let the poor also be able to breathe.
2027 debate, Obi Amechi differ over subsidy.
There will always be a difference. The challenging Atiku. So Atiku has to try and prove by way of scenario, by way of econometric, to give us what if. Okay, I mean, let's go the way you wanted to do. What if?
Have you considered this logic that one way of bringing back subsidy would be to repeal the PIB bill?
Yes.
Or law.
PIA
law.
Yes, not
that's a tall order.
No. In fact, that's more than a giant order. That's how do you put it out? The camera wanting to pass through the air of the
on the needle. Awujale, ruling house sues Ogun kingmakers.
Fusegbowa ruling house is not happy. Many people are still not happy as regards what should happen to the succession to the Awujale of Asikura Adetona. And the governor should take heed.
All right. Ace actor Ogogo buried. Tinubu Abiodun mourn.
And
we mourn too.
The Taiwo, the Ogogo family and the children, our thoughts, our prayers will always continue to remain with you. Your daddy left a legacy. 7 killed, 2 injured in Ogun crash. Unfortunately, again, at this time, with the rains, with the state of roads, we need to be extra careful.
NNPC partners advance $21 billion Bonga offshore project.
Super news for Nigeria.
Okay, last but not least paper here is the Daily Trust. The lead story in the Daily Trust is this: why Tinubu pulled back campaign council list?
Because
superior logic came.
Not just superior logic. Maybe it was hurried and put. There are certain people, in my honest opinion, that should not be there.
Okay.
There are people who are still answering questions from the courts. Just does not makes sense. And it's a bit too unwieldy. It should be trimmed down.
30 killed in attacks on 4 Niger mosques.
Most unfortunate. Our thoughts to our Muslim brethren, even as we mark Eid al-Maulud today. For those who have lost their lives, it's unfortunate. It cannot be a genocide against Muslims. Just like you said, it cannot be genocide against Christians.
Yeah.
The terrorists are out for all.
Governor Buni, Tinubu's advisor, donates 600 million naira for Djibu's varsity.
Yeah, right. So
the details in Daily Trust today.
Please crack Daily Trust. I think that's a positive one.
And this one, curious. 2027, meet the women seeking presidency.
Okay, all right. Let's see more of women participation, and women should also support women. I think affirmative action should begin to show itself.
Take root, yeah.
Yes.
Police honor 10 officers killed by bandits.
I commiserate with the families. I commiserate with Nigeria. And my thoughts goes to all of us. Security is everybody's business.
Missing cyclist found dead in uncompleted building.
What a shame. That's terrible. Mounting humanity to man. Terrible.
Case over status of Made in Nigeria project in court, director.
Yeah, right. So, Made in Nigerian projects, Made in Nigeria products, we can get there. And I think Abai is resurrecting.
Okay. 2 picture stories, front page Daily Times, and you'll be ahead. Bye-bye now. Thank you, Mr. Fadunke, for your intervention.
Welcome.
Well, bye-bye now until the next time.
So we had our hangouts where we go, run away from home, attempt to learn how to drink a little beer here and there. One day, Tunde comes and says, there is this young lady at NTA. Her phone is so much for me, I don't even know how to work with her. And Tunde will say to Bimbo, this your phonetics, where is it going to lead you? Can't you speak like a Nigerian? Aren't you Tunde was as bush as I am. Can't you speak our Nigerian English? And Tunde went on teasing Bimbo to no small measures. One day, maybe about a year later, Tunde joins us at the drinking joint and say, mo like girl yẹn, Tunde. Mo like Bimbo. Adetin sọ̀rọ̀. Are you still speaking like this bushman from Ekiti? Or you want to turn to Bimbo's type of English? Only I got to learn, no, because it looks like I like her. From there, it moved on to I love her. And one day, to our surprise, Tunde said, I have proposed to Bimbo. Bimbo has accepted to marry me. I said, it's not possible. How can a bushman from Ekiti come and marry our daughter from Lagos? But then the rest is history. May Tunde's soul and the souls of all the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace.
Amen.
Amen. So, back to today's business. Mrs. Moturayo Alaka, it is with indeed great pleasure from all that has been said about you, read about you, you certainly have been able to come into this scene, conquer the scene, and been able to say so much about what is happening in our lives. Communications, technology, and everything that you have been noted for. once again, it is congratulations to you. And on behalf of Bimbo and her team, and in recognition of your ongoing contributions to human expression and development, it's a pleasure for me to present this to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for also remembering and honoring my late father. Thank you. I'm going to call on Jade Sola Adetokunbo Balogun from Vivian Fowler Memorial College. She will be reading the citation for Madam Osai Alile. So please kindly take center stage, Ms. Alile, whilst your citation is being read.
Glad to be here. Ms. Osai Alile is the CEO of Aspire Coronation Trust Foundation, otherwise known as ACT Foundation. Although this grant-making organization has been running successfully for the past 7 years, Auntie Osai has spent 2.5 decades at the forefront of human development, garnering relevant experience. Armed with a first degree in sociology from the University of Lagos, a master's degree in public administration from Rutgers University, and executive certifications from several national and international bodies, Ms. Alile has leveraged on her body of work to make transformational impact in the areas of education, health, entrepreneurship, the environment, and leadership. She spent a year working for the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, 4 years as Vice President of Junior Achievement of Nigeria, 7 years as the Executive Director of Faith Foundation, and 3 years as CSR consultant to Access Bank, before establishing ACT Foundation. She identified several critical gaps in the social sector and recognized the need for an indigenous grant-making organization that would become a catalyst for sustainable change. Consequently, as the CEO of ACT Foundation, her understanding of the nonprofit sector and its potential to impact lives positively has been the driving force behind her dedication to the growth and empowerment of young Nigerians and Africans. Her hard work has yielded measurable and commendable results all over the continent, so much so that ACT Foundation was adjudged Not-for-Profit of the Year 3 years in a row at the 2018, 2019, and 2020 Sarah CSR Awards. It is also to Ms. Osai Alile's credit that she is sought after as a national and international conference speaker, sharing her experiences, offering solutions to challenges faced on the continent, and encouraging growth and empowerment. This House applauds our legacy champion and suggests that in a bid to foster lasting transformation, young people should also be empowered to become audible, visible, and vocal about vital social issues. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Ms. Osai Alile.
Thank you very much. Requested to join her. Mr. Foladiola, please welcome.
Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it cannot be too much. I'm not speaking like a broken record, but if I don't say this, then it means that I don't value blood. Bimbo is very dear to me. She brought light and honor into my family. I'm a bit emotional because our late husband, Tunde Oloide, was my aburo. Not just aburo, blood aburo. We're second cousins. And when he decided to marry Bimbo, as Sir Steve Omojafo said, my cousin was as bush as they come. And he was very outspoken. If I use the word brash, it will be rude. He was very blunt, highly creative, intelligent, outstanding, unique, and handsome.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma.
And that runs in the family. You can't see anybody from Olomiloye family that is not good looking. It's a God's gift. We are good looking. Actually, when I met you, I thought you were a cousin. The Duke will attest to that. Yeah. Bimbo, you've done us proud. You've done the family proud. We are proud of you. You've brought, thank you. You brought dignity into that family. We are a family of honor and a lettered family. We have lawyers, doctors, judges, Obas, it's a royal family. And you came in and you added your color. And you are still adding the color. Thank you very much. Now to the... God bless you. Now to the business of the day. I was very moved when I heard the citation. Please continue doing the good work. But remember, ethically. That is the word I always use, ethically. If Nigeria has kept to that, we'll not be in the situation we are in today. But we have to go back to it. Things have to be done ethically. It's the only way of the Almighty, the Creator. Narrow is the path that leads to greatness in the high heavens and here. Nigeria has to go back to it, to doing things ethically. I congratulate you for this award. Continue to ride high, continue to impact on life, and God continue to bless you. Amen. Thank you.
Congratulations, Asai and Lily.
Easy.
Everyone, my name is Adeni Nolua, and I will be taking the citation for Mr. Oscar Bemileke Oyinson. Oscar Oyinson's journey in Nigeria's media and entertainment space began about 2 decades ago as a producer and presenter at Lag 103.1 FM. His enthusiasm and abilities were quickly recognized, and he moved to Inspiration 92.3 FM, and then BBC Media Action, where he was a senior producer. He later became director of programs at City 105.1 FM, and he is currently MD CEO at Rapid Broadcasting Network, RBN, which is currently operating from Lagos to Umaya. His experiences have provided a formidable platform for Oscar Oyinson to explore other aspects of the media and hone his skills in advertising, storytelling, presentation, training, and TV production. His passion for live communication has also led him to become a professional MC, comparing and moderating several events, so much so that he was inspired to guide young people equally fascinated by mastering the ceremony, to learn the techniques that deliver professional results. Mr. Oyinson founded the MC Company in 2016. Until date, he has trained and mentored over 2,000 aspiring MCs to become professional communicators in Nigeria and beyond. This house recognizes his passion and zeal and urges him to sustain his enthusiasm. It is our expectation that Oscar Oyinson, having pursued the path of broadcasting, will not only ensure that broadcasters are encouraged to constantly improve their performance, but that he also continues to assist aspiring MCs to hone their skills, develop their crafts, and establish themselves as masters of the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Mr. Oscar Bemileke Oyinson. Thank you.
Hello? Now I can command the stage. On behalf of Bimbo Loide and her establishment, it is my pleasure to present this award.
Just move to the center. The Holy Child girl is looking very holy. Can we please have all the awardees to step forward with their plaques for a group photograph with the author? All the awardees, please.
I wanted to crave your indulgence. This wasn't part of the program, but I learned very early that the opportunity of a lifetime, you need to seize the opportunity of a lifetime in the lifetime of the opportunity. I am Bemeleke Oscar Oyinson, and I want to dedicate this award to my father, who turns 80 in July. And for the broadcasters in the house, his name is Chief Sonia Oyinson. I never thought I'll be here at this time, at this moment, and Auntie Bimbo, thank you very much for this. What are the odds that the likes of Alhaji Danladi Bako, he's gone? Okay. Is a name I heard in the house. Uncle Biti Olatilo was there at the first class that I had for the MC company in 2016. Dr. Obiaya was my lecturer and my supervisor at the School of Media and Communication, and we've become very good friends, even though he didn't give me an A. But I wanted to just say thank you very much, Ma. This wasn't planned, but I want you to understand how important this is, not just to me, but everyone standing here. And we won't let you down. And to the older generations, we need your support. We need your influence. We need your networking to keep this dream alive. The generation coming behind us need this more than ever. And I can't stress how important it is. So thank you very much once again, man.
For me, because amazing is often a thankless job, but I thank you for commanding your stage. And like I always tell you, you keep amazing me because you don't stop from one thing to the other. I'm like, she's doing something again and again and again in a country where retirement age is 60 or 65, depending on what it is. And for the younger generation, apart from public speaking, you can command your stage in life. And we look forward to you. Thank you.
Please permit me to stand on all already established protocol. I don't know if I should be quiet or if I should speak, being in the midst of so many wonderful speakers. I feel like everyone is going to pick at everything I say. But let me speak regardless. I'd like to start with a very solemn story about 75 Igbo men and women who rather drowned in the sea, in chains, than be slaves in America. This was in the 1800s, I believe, 1803 to be exact. That shows us the importance of commanding your stage. Even in the ocean, these 75 men and women were able to command their stage through their voice, using their voice. So being here today, I am reminded of two things. The importance of commanding your stage, having a voice and using it. And the other, I'm also encouraged to go forth and to encourage our Dibin youths to be able to speak, pass their message, and have a voice. But before I leave, Mrs. Bimbo, I am honored to be here to receive this award amongst various distinguished guests and public speakers. It is indeed a privilege to be here and to be a legacy champion, to have the honor of passing across this mantle to the younger people that would come after me. So on a final note, I am sure that Mrs. Bimbo has made her family proud and everyone that is here proud, as has been said. But I think leaving here today, one thing we must remember is our voice is our identity. Regardless of your situation, the only thing you have left is your voice. So as we're leaving here today, let us be encouraged to indeed use our voice to command the stage. Thank you.
Such an honor and a pleasure to win this award. Not just to be recognized, but also to just be here. The first time I sat with you personally was at the WIMBIS conference last year. And when Mr. Aziz was talking about it, I smiled to myself because it was amazing. And we don't forget it, and we don't take it for granted that you're not only doing this, but you're also celebrating others. I thank you, everyone. I thank you, especially to my family and my parents and Mr. Adiola that came to stand, as always, beside me as a father, for allowing us as women to speak. In our community, we find out that a lot of times women... But thank you to those that allow us not only to speak, to have a voice, but to be heard, and to allow us to do that which God has blessed us to do. I don't take it for granted to my parents and to those that I regard as my parents that have allowed me, that have stood by me, that have given me a voice. And I hope that we will also continue to give people voices, regardless of gender. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's an honor.
And gentlemen, I want to especially congratulate our host for today, the woman of the moment. Thank you very much, ma'am, Mrs. Bimboloede. We really appreciate you pouring out of your experience over and over again. Thank you for this book. On behalf of Adebola Williams, I'd like to say a big thank you for this recognition. I'm a proud product of the work that he's doing in the field of the media. I've had the opportunity of cutting my teeth as a broadcast journalist and also writing for the platform as well as working on several projects. So on behalf of everybody who has been touched by the work Adebola Williams is doing, I say a big thank you for this honor. Thank you, ma'am.
I've been standing there practicing my best accents, my best voice, because I was thinking not that I would compete favorably, but at least I'll come somewhat close to all the citation readers, particularly Miss Alma Ukachi, who did an excellent job. But thank you for today, and thank you for the work that your life has served. This is why we have been here. Which was why we are here today. And particularly in receiving this award for an incredible, incredible woman, Dr. Amina Salihu, who I've had the pleasure of working with for so many years. She is truly a pioneer who continues to contribute immensely to many aspects of human endeavor. So thank you. That's what I would like to say for giving her an awarding, recognizing her with this prestigious award. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations again. Please put your hands together for every one of them. 5, 4, 3, 2. Mrs. Abimbola Fashola is smiling specially because an Igbobi college boy is there. That's the school her husband attended. You can see how partial she is. And Mrs. Adiola Aziz is... All right, thank you. That's it.
Segment to a close. We'd like to once again congratulate every awardee. Thank you so much to the representatives from the schools who gave the citations. Thank you to the stories that we heard. And we'll just carry on with the rest of the program so that we can get things going. Like I said, you know, time flies when you're having a lot of fun, right? So I'll hand over back to Blessings. Thank you so much. Champions. And of course, the citation readers, I'm not even going to try to come close to what they did because the one I'm doing here is enough for me. I'm under fire already as it is. But congratulations once again to the legacy champion. I was sitting there and at some point I thought I was growing cold feet, but thankfully it's just the AC. You know, I'm cold all over. Once again, a round of applause, please, to everyone. So this is a reminder in case you want to step out, which I won't advise you to just yet, but the books are innovative thinkers, anybody literally these need.
Let's put your hands together on the publisher.
Natural trader. Abi. How's the person now? Why don't you do this? POS, sir.
How many books?
Have you taken the contract?
Order. 2-4. Whose daughter? So what?
Which is our panel session. We'll be having a panel discussion for some minutes, and I'm going to be handing over now to the moderator of the panel session to take over from here. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as I invite Oluwaseun Olaniyan, a media creative and an event compare. Please, a round of applause for Oluwaseun Olaniyan.
Distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, I love you too, Oscar. It's a real honor, a real privilege to be here, to be at this book launch and part of this conversation. I'd like to say congratulations again to Mrs. Bimbo Oloyede and to all the recipients of the awards. Time is fast spent. We want to have a really interesting and engaging conversation, and the theme is to speak or not to speak. And I'm going to just quickly invite my co-panelists. And if you will, with a warm round of applause, welcome Isabella Adedeji. She's a media entrepreneur, CEO, Yellow Tamarind Productions, a PR and production company, event host. She's also Alaga to Law Cambridge. Can we celebrate Isabella? Dan the Humorous was meant to join us. I don't know if he's in the room. Is Dan the Humorous in the room? Okay, he isn't. Oh, fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Daniel Walker, a.k.a. Dan the Humorous, a celebrated comedian, a social activist, an actor, innovator, and entrepreneur. You're welcome, yes. It's a really great honor to be amongst experts and veterans. Speak or not to speak, right? I won't just get right into it. Talking in public is a sacred duty. It's a very serious thing, one that should be handled with a lot of care, you know, as everyone that has come on stage has done today. So, to you experts at speaking in public, would you say that there are cardinal rules to speaking in public? And if there are, what would you say are those rules to speaking in public? Who will go first? All right, Lamide, yes.
There are a few hard and fast rules. I don't like to say never because that's when you get proved wrong. But one thing that, you know, an earlier speaker also said was, you know, alluded to speaking nonsense. That's one thing that I think is very important. When you get up on stage, you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to yourself. You have a responsibility to your audience, which means whatever it is that you're saying, make sure it's grounded in truth, grounded in fact, and make sure it's grounded in sense.
All right. Grounded in sense. Do you want the ladies to go first? Dan looks like a perfect gentleman. All right. Isabella?
I think One needs to be very careful about bias. Once you're given the responsibility of handling the microphone or being on TV, on radio, you have to take it with a lot of care and keep away your religious bias, your orientation. Make sure that you stay with the facts, stay on the conversation. And another thing that's really important is to remember that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So we should listen twice as much as we speak so that we're able to effectively communicate.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for having me. I think the first thing I would say is be knowledgeable and do your research. We can't overemphasize how she's ready to kill the show, and she was killing the show. And the second thing I would emphasize is authenticity. It is so important. I've been at an event where I tried to sound like someone else because I'd watched this person and she's such a great compare. And then I got up stage and I was sounding so nervous because I wasn't using my voice. I was trying to use another person's voice, and someone called me and said, "You sound a little nervous." And I went back and searched and I'm like, I think I'm sounding like someone else. Then I went back up stage, took charge and commanded the stage using my voice. So be authentic whilst you're learning from other people.
Amazing, amazing. I'm just going to call the attention of the students at the back. I think that this conversation, to pay attention while you're doing whatever you're doing, that would be great. All right? All right. Dan the Humorous.
Great. So yes, it's an art bounded by rules. However, there are ethics to it. And for me, as an active stand-up comedian, chief amongst other things that I do, one of the key things for me is to have an understanding of the demography of the audience I'm going to be talking to, and having the ability to read the room. Because it is one thing for you to even have a prepared set or a prepared arrangement with an idea of what you think the event will be like, and you show up at the venue and the demography is, different from what you envisage. For example, what we have here today, if I was going to do a comedy set, maybe Auntie Bimbo called me, she's having a book launch, come and do a 10-15 minute. In my mind, I have an idea of the kind of people that will be there. And then I show up and I'm seeing secondary school students that are like almost half of the room. I have to now reprogram my set so that I can carry them along, in whatever it is that I'm communicating. Because if you don't have the ability to do that, or if you don't do that, you don't get the necessary feedback. Because imagine you are performing and you only know that people like Governor Donald Duke will be there, and you only have 1/4 of the room laughing. You will not have that heavy feedback as you envisaged, and then these children will say, "This guy is dry," and then they will go home and tell their parents, and it will affect your future clients. So it's the ability to read the room and to quickly, adjust and be flexible to whatever the room presents to you.
All right. I know there's excitement in the back for the books, and we love that. But in content, you can't just speak. As Donald Duke said earlier, you can come with all the vocal gymnastics, but if there's no content, then what's the point? Now, DME, as you speak on this, I want you to also talk to the fact that with online media, with social media, the platform is democratized. Anyone can have a voice. Anyone can speak. So within that sphere, what would you say the opportunities and challenges are, especially for the new generation? Everyone today can be a broadcaster. In the good old days, you could only see Auntie Bimbo on the news. Today with YouTube and Facebook, anyone can speak. What would you say?
So first of all, be careful. This is the first time I'm hearing Dan the Humorous say something serious ever. I did not even know you were like this. But I think it's really important to share to everyone here that reputation is as important as whatever it is that you have to communicate, especially now that we have social media as a platform where anybody can come and speak. Your reputation, when they say don't shoot the messenger, sometimes who is saying a thing is maybe even more important than what is being said. So it's really important to protect your reputation and just as much as you can, do what is right, say what is right. There have been instances recently of people going online to say different kinds of things, and we've seen the type of backlash. And it's just really important that we keep that in mind. Just keep your reputation intact. Speak with sense. Have something to say first that is palatable, and not necessarily you bending to everybody's wishes, but at least if you're going to say something, let it make sense. Let your arguments make sense and have the reputation of making sense. Because once that is lost, it's just harder to communicate anything.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So sort out the content first, then figure out, all the optics and, the language, the phonology, the phonetics, all that stuff. But the content is the core thing. And reputation, I think I like what you said about reputation because, the popular saying is that actions speak louder than words. So who you are, your actions, what you present, what you do, your integrity, your character are the things that speak loudest. Can we put our hands together for our panelists? We, as I'm sure you know, we have very little time and we really want to take contributions. So 2 30-second contributions or questions, and then I'll have my panelists just respond and we can close the session. All right?
You asked something very similar. In this room we can... Oh, okay. Oh, great. Thank you, sir. My name is Dr. George Uchendo, medical doctor, master of ceremonies, multimedia personality. Such a pleasure to be here, ma. Thank you so much for the opportunity. First question, you touched it a bit. In this room, there is so much professional excellence. Captains of industries, industry thought leaders who went through the process. And these days, the barrier to entry into media, speaking, is almost non-existent because once you have a funny accent, in quotes, you have a voice, you can get in. How important is the professional training and the process to this? And what can be said to the younger ones coming to pay attention to things like this? And then secondly is a professional question. Thank God Mojibade's show is here. Pause fillers. So we have a situation where there's a lot of so and words to fill. How can public speakers handle those moments where they have nothing to say but need to say something? So pause fillers.
All right. So guys,
I almost feel like I'm going to dissolve. My name is Temitope Omoli. Somehow I have anchored events before, but it's looking like I've never held a mic. Okay, so I presently radio and all of that, but of course, like everybody else, we've all watched Mrs. Bimbo Oloyede. This is the first time I'm seeing her in person, but I've always just heard of the events and seen the pictures, and I'll go look at the pictures, and when she walks in, I was like, wow, she's not aged a day. But it's such a privilege to be here. And like everyone has spoken very well. But the question I want to ask is sustainability. You have shown consistency. You have shown, is it reproduction? You have not only just stood out, you've also managed to produce a lot of people who can point and say, okay, because she is, we are. And so I want to ask, how do you have it, you find it, you fine-tune it, you're giving it, how do you sustain it to a point where it's not losing polish and it's staying relevant, and then you can now say, okay, you are finally commanded and owned your
stage.
Yes.
I talked about professional training. I didn't get a professional training in brick and mortar classroom, but I watched people. I continued to hone my skills because I was very deliberate about the kind of brand I wanted to build. I wanted people to think of Mojibade Shosoya and think of professionalism, think of excellence. It's not bad to have a professional training. However, what we talked about when you're talking about social media and barriers to entry is that anybody can be anything that they've chosen to be. So if you've chosen to be a professional compere, then you must keep that professionalism behind your brand and ensure that you're pushing it. However, if you want to seek professional courses, there are many of those things on Udemy, on YouTube. Compares like me, we train people, so you can also talk to people. However, be deliberate about building your brand and how you want people to perceive you. Secondly, I didn't mention that I also had the opportunity to write the foreword of this book, the preamble, and I think it's such such an honor. I'm still basking in the euphoria of it because imagine me looking at my idol, my role model. I mean, I used to watch her when I was 7, asking me to write the preamble of her book at 70. I mean, she's almost thrice my age. No, I won't tell you. Don't guess my age. You can't guess it. But I'm so honored. Thank you for having me do this. And thank you for having me sit with these champions and legends as well. I answered one question. I'm trying to rush because of time. But let me count down. Thank you very much for having me, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, I mean, she said it well. Depends on what what you really want to do. And you have to make sure that you decide, when you decide to do something, you decide that you must do it well. Invest in yourself. Be dedicated. Be intentional about that which you want to do. You mentioned pillar. You see, I just said filler words. So I think you said something about when you don't have anything to say, but you have to fill the silence. You must think of it a different way. If there's nothing to say, then there's nothing to say. So when you're in front of people and you're commanding the stage, as it were, you've thought through what you're doing. You've planned through what it is that you want to get across. So you've rehearsed it by yourself in front of people in the mirror, etc., etc. And so if you have a moment where you're nervous or you've got something, you've got the jitters, you pause.
Yeah.
It's your stage. You own it. You pause, you think, and then you speak. So it's not about filling the silence when there's nothing to say. If there's nothing to say, then there's nothing to say. All right.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Lamide. Thank you for that. Dan.
Yeah. So answering your question and saying all that stuff, even though the barrier for entry seems a little bit liberal, seems a little bit open, the core of every profession still stays the same. That the fact that we get to see people like Aproko Doctor and so many doctors on social media doesn't mean that folks are not going to still do their MBBS. You still have to go and study what it takes to be a doctor before you can do whatever you want to do in the public space. So when it comes to public speaking and all of that, there are still fundamental things you must know. You must train yourself. Even the people who entered into it somehow, at one point or the other, still put themselves under some level of training. I personally had done a degree in engineering, and then people were advising me, don't worry, just dump the degree, keep facing it. But I had to go back to university to study linguistics and communications just so that I could make my comedy, have some level of global appeal to communicate and cut across. And I thank God I'm been able to do that for a while now. And when you talk about, what's the other thing you talk about? How do you say it again?
Fillers.
What do you say, what to say when there's nothing to say? Believe me, if you have been doing something for a while, you have been very consistent at it, you have always tried to give yourself a better tomorrow, meaning that whatever you achieve today, you see it as child's play and you try to make it better. You will never lack anything to say.
Fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, that round of applause can be better for Dan. Isabella, your final comments?
In pursuit of
Excellence.
Excellence. The Vivian Fowler girls.
Vivian.
Oh, they've left. Okay. But we have some students here. Literary and debate competitions are a great way to build your public speaking skills. And then training can come from books like Command Your Stage. You can read magazines, you can watch TV, you can listen to the radio, you can strike up conversations with people who have gone ahead of you. Some of them have mentoring programs. For example, Wimbiz has a mentoring program, and I invited my mentee to attend this event because she wants to get into public speaking. So there are easy ways for you to start training yourself, and there are schools, there are courses you can do to improve your speaking skills. Now, to the question about filling in the gap or those empty spaces, when you're having your conversations with your clients before the event, ask that question. What if there's a time that a panelist doesn't come?
Yeah.
Would you like me to speak? If they say yes, what can I speak on? So you can already prepare something. That way, you're doing what is right for the occasion, not what you feel is right, because you have to go back to the organizers,
Fantastic.
to the client. And if the client says you should keep silent, just like Lamide says, because they have a reason, maybe they're waiting for somebody to come, and until the governor comes, nobody can speak. Please keep silent.
Right. Thank you. Put your hands together for Isabella, guys. Deyemi.
Before I say anything, You can really speak English. Reputation. Reputation. Please guard your reputation. I'm going to keep saying that. It's really important. And then to the Dr. MC and every other thing personality. The same way we perceive media as being democratized, the same way learning has been democratized. I studied chemical engineering at the University of, means I'm marketing myself. I studied chemical engineering at the University of Lagos. I have also been in sales and marketing for about 10 years before I started acting. But I studied by myself, this art this craft that I have right now. And I've really tried over the past 10, 11 years to hone that skill. So it's possible to not have gone to some, 4 walls or brick or mortar school, but still find ways to learn about whatever it is that you want to do. You also talked about filling in the gaps. One of the most powerful tools that an actor has is silence. And so I would agree with some of our panelists who have said, if you don't have anything to say, you don't have anything to say. And you can tell them, so at this point, I really don't have much to say.
Right.
Finally, I'm not trying to answer the question for Auntie Bimbo here, but I think anyone who really wants to leave a legacy should just first focus on being excellent at whatever it is that they're doing, so that when your light shines so bright, people who are interested in that level of brightness will find you and they can replicate that brightness in their own lives.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Can we put our hands together for DME? Field did a study, and the result of that study was that the greatest fear next to death is actually public speaking. And so it's understandable that you've emceed a million times, but you still feel the jitters. And I'm sure everyone here can attest to that. Even after doing this 100 times, I'm sure Auntie Bimbo will attest to that. You still feel the jitters, you still feel anxious, but you push through. So do it afraid. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for this wonderful panel. One more time.
We're all trying for her, who in my time at Channels and even after has been more a mentor, a mother, a person who I look up to as the standard of excellence. So thank you, Mrs. O, for all that you do and for all that you are as a human being. You are excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay, so what I was going to say in regard to what DME and everybody has said about when you don't have anything to say, you don't have to say something, is I always tell my mentees that it's better to not say something and wish you said it than say something and wish you didn't say it, because you could have messed up things by doing that.
And we were happy that you... Okay.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Much to the panelists. Thank you, Oluwaseunpi, the Media Creative Event Compare. Thank you so much, Isabella Adedeji, Alaga Tolo, Cambridge. Thank you so much, Lamide Akinto.
Thank you. Chief Olatilo. Prince Olatilo and Ms. Oleide.
Mrs. Gwemi Shashore will please join you, the MD of Koramo Publishing. Please join them.
Gwemi.
Please put your hands together for all the pub.
I think what to do is, first of all, I know I'm speaking the minds of all the broadcasters here, that we should thank all those who brought us up to be able to have been able to command our stage for years. Please put your hands together for them. And continue to pray for them. I can't remember how many events that I have done, me here, and I have people like this who come because I've been able to command my stage. Christopher Kolade, your hands please together for him. He's 1991. He's still there. And what people like this taught us is she's so meticulous about being intentional about it has to be done the right way. There are no two ways to do it. It never ever changes. And you've seen what she's done here. Congratulations, my sister. Now, we had discussed earlier on, she said to me, I'll come and do a bit of asking people to come and just help with this. We've been talking grammar since morning. What I'm trying to say is that, yes, we should help this lady. She's done so well. Danladi Bako did so a beautiful, what do you call that? He reviewed it. It was like he was the one who wrote it. And we've seen it. We'll read it, but we need to put something down. Command your stage. My sister, please come. Mrs. Aziz, please come here. Of course, you know Chief Ayo Adebanjo, who turned, is it 97? 96. Motubadra, 97 for 1 year. So are you going to speak on behalf of the Wimbies now? You have spoken very, very, very brilliantly. I mean, you didn't tell me you were a broadcaster, but you spoke just like one. So now you've done the speaking. Can we have you do this the other way?
How many are you buying? I have the greatest respect for Chief Olatilo, but I'm a salesman now. I want to sell books. Deola, since he has called you, how many are you selling? I'm buying one for your father. Okay, so add that to my 6, making 7. I've bought 6 already. Whenever I have the opportunity to lead, I do it from the front. I'll buy 20 for my office. Okay. Ifeoye has just left us here. He bought 4 books and he paid 200,000 for the 4 books. The cover price is 15,000, but you are at liberty to pay a little bit more. Chief Olatilo, how many are you buying?
Let me say it myself.
All right then. I'll buy one for your. No, for your subordinate at home. Raji, Babatude Fashola. Okay. No, he's subordinate. He's a partner. Give him 1 book from me. Yes. 10 for Wimbies. All right. Please, who is recording? Blessing. She has. Who is recording? And you told us to research and be ready and research and facts and who is recording? Because we are going to miss all this. Yeah. I just want to know who is recording. I want to know how many books we're able to sell. My sister and my second cousin from today, former Deputy Governor Lagos State. How many books are you buying? Oh, you know the answer is 1, 2, or 20 books. Please record 20 for Her Excellency. Okay. What's your school? Madam? Please record. Miss Ben Batum Young, how many books are you buying? Biola Muhammad, I'm selling books. How many do you want? I mean, you know we are selling it. How many books are you buying? That is not how to trade. People, do you know him? Thank you. You know you spent more time than any of the people that sat. It has to be reflected in the number of books. How many books? 10 books. God bless you. Okay, put 10 down for Osai, 2 for 50. You have to be. Our organization will buy 25.
Didn't quite understand it. The author and I had earlier said, when I come, I help do this, which she knows I do most of the time. But the chairman who went into the audience and Where have we not covered? Where have we not covered? Who hasn't bought a book here? So I can actually follow in the footsteps of the chairman to go, man, and get you to get involved in this. Who hasn't bought a copy here? Who hasn't bought copies then? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do something. Let's all show. Are the cameramen ready for us? Okay. Let's do this.
So please all look at the cameras. And everybody say, command your stage. Everybody say, Bimbo Oloyede. All right, thank you very much. Thank you.
They know the way I do it. She knows the way I do it. Okay, do I relate to you the way I do? Let me relate to you the way I do. You said something earlier. You said I send messages to you. I'll do that.
Thank you very much.
All right.
All the time I've known him, whenever he says that he's going to do something, he does it. So that has to continue.
With your permission, Mr. Chairman.
Have begun. Please feel free to pick a copy.
The day is actually far spent, and I prepared something, but I don't think I'm going to read it. I think it would take a bit too long, and I don't think we've really got the time. But I can just say, let me start it the way I wrote it. Once upon a time, thank you very much. We've been hearing stories, so I thought I would also tell a story. But let me shorten it as much as I can. Once upon a time, there was a little girl called Patricia Abimbola Roberts. She attended a primary school called St. Xavier's School. And when she was 8, she was sent to a boarding school in the west of England. During one summer holiday, she came home and her father took her to a TV station near the Bar Beach in Lagos. He said that she was going to take part in a quiz competition, which was part of a children's program. And he told her that if she won, she should tell the quiz master that she was donating the prize money to charity. She won, and she gave the money to charity, and the first seed was sown. She didn't know anything about the principle of seed, time, and harvest, but as she grew up, her interest in acting and debating led her to attend elocution lessons, which enabled her to pass several exams relating to speech. And so time passed, and she studied stage management, and she came back to Nigeria. And her mother took her to the same TV station near the Bar Beach. This time it was called NBC TV. And in 1975, she was employed as an assistant producer in the drama department until fate placed her in front of TV cameras as a newscaster. So we've had seed, we've had time, and now it's harvest. Harvest was the fact that the little girl was now known as Bimbo Roberts. And so her life began as a broadcaster. She was transferred to the presentation section. Later, she joined the newsroom. Later on, she became Mrs. Bimbo Oloyede because she married. She had children. She left the station, which at that time had become NTA. So she did a variety of things. Eventually, she joined Channels Television as a news anchor, and she continued to consult and train and speak. And then she decided to write books about her profession. The first 2 were about speech and pronunciation. But Mr. Chairman, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this 3rd book is about presentation and public speaking. So, it is called Command Your Stage, as you have heard, and it's a journey that covers 5 decades of that girl's professional life. But it began with the seed that was sown 60 years ago, not far from here, during a program broadcast at the first TV station in Lagos. I am excited that today we have had 3 generations of presenters. Some of today's popular radio and TV presenters and influencers have met with their senior colleagues, that's people in my generation, like Prince Biscon Olatilo here. And then we have had aspiring presenters, as we have seen and heard from the children in various secondary schools. So in closing, let me say that in terms of communication, Nigeria is in a catch-22 situation. Some of the bottlenecks and inexplicable policies we are faced with in our nation today are because of the disconnect between our leaders and followers. Many of our leaders cannot clearly articulate. Consequently, they are unable to deliver their messages to the followers. Similarly, followers do not know how to ask for clarification when they don't understand. And sadly, these 2 parallel lines are not likely to meet. So if the game is to change, and if Nigeria is to take its rightful place as a global force, now is the time for you young people to have a different understanding of education. You must learn how to articulate ideas clearly and confidently so that you are empowered to establish and maintain successful relationships, to thrive in the workplace, and to make a meaningful contribution to nation building. I think everybody will agree with me that the discipline that goes with speaking successfully in public goes beyond standing on a stage. The training that you go through is what enables young people to ultimately become architects of their own success. I believe that these skills will empower the next generation to have the self-confidence that they need for personal and professional growth, which will ultimately impact on social and national development. Mr. Chairman, Your Excellencies, distinguished colleagues, speakers, guests, students, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening, and I wish you a very good afternoon. May God bless you all.
As our publishers, I said, oh yes. After all, I've been reading Command Your Stage in the process of editing. And so I'll come and talk extempore. I'll come and tell everybody how wonderful it was working with Mrs. Oloyede. Auntie, shall I wait till you come back? Shall I wait till you come back, Laila? Okay. So, yes. So last night, fast forward to last night, when I was deciding, oh my God, okay, so, and processing again in my head what to say, I started to get butterflies. Yes, I got butterflies in my stomach, and so this morning I went into my wardrobe and I wore something with butterflies so that you truly will believe me when I say I do have butterflies. So I will read my speech very quickly because the day is far, far spent. It is a pleasure to add my own welcome to this important event. As you have heard, as CEO of Kuramo Publishing, I represent the publishers. As publishers, we are part of the Kuramo fledgling media group. Kuramo Publishing has been in the mainstream general publishing for the past decade and more. We take pride in being an indigenous publishing firm with a yearly prize dedicated to an Africa-wide annual Writers' Award. So we can spot gems when we see them. We are especially proud today to have assisted in the publication of this particular book because of its mission of generously and gratuitously giving back to society. We have had the honor of working with the author in her mission to convert her experience and expertise to the valuable, precious asset, knowledge. Knowledge for the readers of Command Your Stage.
This book will be well embraced by the reading public, so more so coming from this preeminent of personalities, an acclaimed professional in her own right. Someone who my generation grew up seeing on broadcast and on stage. Someone who the audience could reassure by just hearing her presentation. A person the public grew to love and to trust. We believe Command Your Stage will serve other purposes, not the least being a source of inspiration. Inspiration for the new occasional accidental or intentional public figure whose present and real mission to succeed must be to command his or her own stage in order to succeed or be heard. This book reassures and donates confidence. It will also be an inspiration to a new generation of on-air personalities and practitioners. Yes, even in this digital age of instant content. Many will need the technique of live, unanticipated communication. Finally, we believe that this book will inspire a search for higher standards in content delivery. In this age where everyone with a good camera considers themselves communication experts. I always say, everyone has a story to tell. Reason. Books to help develop our minds, sharpen public interest, but above all, change perspectives from merely relying on assumptions alone to forming valuable views. Books are aimed towards a better society. The next point to make is that the author, my big egbon, my auntie Bimbo Oloyede, indeed any author, is the visionary. She is the inspiration and the driving force behind any book project. In this project, we are particularly gratified to have worked with a clear-minded and purposeful author, a commentator, and one who conceives dedicating time to produce such a meaningful and thoughtful, provoking book. As publishers, in helping, as has often been said, publishing is a team effort, requiring a variety of different efforts. The best books in the world might never be read without the partnering effort of the author and the publishing company. Copy editing, agreeing on terminology, sometimes meaning, layout, design, illustration, proofing, and even more proofing. It takes great courage and enlightenment by the author to resolve to publish and critique. It's not just that it is an intellectual exercise, which it is, but also that it is a monument for posterity to be referred to, digested, and used by generations yet unborn. We are proud, so proud, to have helped in the birthing of this endeavor, and can only congratulate Mrs. Bimbo Oloyede, our doyen, and each and everyone here for being here to witness this presentation, a very precious addition to the body of thought and advocacy in Africa and beyond. I will leave the print review, well, I have left the print reviewers to do their work. I was supposed to read it before them, but anyway. Thank you all for coming. Mr. Chairman, sir, an excellent job yet again at being chairman. You're so used to being chairman. Anytime you fill a form and they say, what is your position? Just write chairman. Even when you become the president or an ambassador or whatever it is, just write chairman. Here in this hall now, as you can see, it is also available on Amazon, Konga, and at our bookstore, the Q Book Cafe at the Kuramo headquarters. And all other leading stores, such as Roving Heights. They took my script, it was in that one. Roving Heights, one book, but many books. Thank you for listening to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I welcome Adeola Kingsley James. A round of applause.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, my name is Adeola, and I stand here as a proud daughter for sharing part of my mother's legacy and history over the last 5 decades. Beautiful words have been spoken about the book, but I would like to briefly share my own thoughts. Command Your Stage. When I hear this title, it reminds me to be the star in my own movie. As a therapist, I know that all of us are born great with the capacity to be everything we choose to be, but some of us tiptoe through life hoping to make it to our deaths as extras in our own movies. To me, that has now become completely unacceptable. To command your stage means to stand tall, to walk tall, to speak confidently, be bold, be authentic, take risks, have the audacity to try new things out, and be okay with failing, because that's how we learn. One of the reasons I hear people give for not walking the walk or talking the talk is because of the fear of failing. And one of the most asked questions is, what will people say? This question has made the burial grounds full with phenomenal potential because they allowed the fear get the best of them, and they acted like the man who buried his talent and did nothing with it. And the truth is, if you get nothing, you do nothing, and you be nothing. So today, my mother is burying it all and acting with courage, leaving no room in her casket for her potential, even at age 70. So age has got nothing on you, in case that's also your excuse. Ladies and gentlemen, what's in you today that you haven't yet activated, either out of fear of failure or out of fear of succeeding? Because people are afraid of succeeding. I was. Is it a song? Is it a book? A course? An NGO? An app? The list is endless. I believe the weight of regret is heavier than the weight of trying and failing. So this book is teaching us to see life as a theater and us as actors using every opportunity we have to command our stage and make an indelible mark on earth, so that when we exit the stage of our lives, people will say he commanded his stage or she commanded her stage, leaving no talent unused and dying empty. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, be like Bimbo today, my phenomenal mother, and command your stage. The world is waiting for your song to be sung, and no one can sing it like you. My name is Adiola once again. Thank you all for coming. God bless you.
As we welcome the year 2026, we do so with gratitude, renewed hope, and an unshakable belief in the possibilities that lie ahead. A new year signals a fresh chapter, one defined by restored aspirations, answered prayers, and the collective resolve to rise above the challenges of the past. Having weathered the demanding realities of 2025, this moment calls for reflection, realignment, and a renewed commitment to excellence. It is in this spirit that Biscon Communications Global Media Network reaffirms its vision and invites friends, partners, and forward-looking stakeholders to be part of the next phase of our growth journey. For over 3 decades, Biscon Communications has remained a trusted force in Nigeria's media and infotainment space, operating largely through the resilience, personal investment, and visionary leadership of its chairman and chief executive officer, Prince Biscon. Through flagship productions such as the Biscon Show, BOS, and the 24-hour Biscon TV platform, we have consistently delivered credible storytelling, impactful programming, and professional media solutions that resonate locally and globally. Today, Biscon Communications stands ready to evolve into a more robust, well-structured, and globally competitive homegrown infotainment and broadcasting conglomerate. To achieve this, we are opening our doors to meaningful collaborations, increased patronage. Strategic opportunities are open to individuals, corporate organizations, business leaders, and institutions who share our belief in the power of media to shape narratives, amplify brands, and drive influence. With over 30 years of brand equity, institutional credibility, and operational experience in television production, documentary filmmaking, event coverage, live broadcasting, and strategic communications, Biscon Communications offers partners measurable value, visibility, and prestige. Our platforms provide unparalleled reach, spanning traditional broadcast television and a rapidly expanding digital footprint across YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and live streaming platforms, engaging audiences numbering in the hundreds of millions worldwide. We acknowledge with deep appreciation the individuals and institutions whose support over the years has helped sustain the capital-intensive demands of round-the-clock broadcasting. We remain grateful to national leaders, distinguished public servants, corporate icons, royal fathers, industry pioneers, and loyal friends of the Biscon brand whose encouragement, as well as new stakeholders, to step up their engagement with Biscon Communications by patronizing our services, collaborating on projects, and leveraging our platforms for professional packaging, brand amplification, and global visibility. In this spirit of renewal, Biscon Communications is extending special New Year considerations to clients and partners who take advantage of our services in the coming weeks as part of our appreciation and welcome to 2026. Opportunity, prosperity, and impact for all. At Biscon Communications Global Media Network, we remain committed to excellence, innovation, and storytelling that informs, inspires, and endures. Together, let us build the future of Nigerian media, stronger, bolder, and globally relevant.
Powering the future starts with the right technology. Introducing Emefi high-quality and distribution transformers. Expertly engineered and manufactured in Spain to deliver superior performance, reliability, and efficiency for modern power systems. Designed with advanced technology and built to international standards, Emefi transformers provide dependable solutions for industries, infrastructure, and power distribution networks. Now available at Stevenson Brothers Limited, where engineering excellence meets trusted solutions for projects that demand durability, efficiency, and world-class performance. Choose Emefi Transformers. Visit our website today at www.stevensonbrothersltd.com, or you can also stay connected with us on Instagram and TikTok at SBL_Nigeria. Stevenson Brothers Limited, delivering power, innovation, and reliability. Contact us today and experience quality at its peak.
What would happen to your business if everything burned tonight? Your contracts, your financial records, your legal documents, your company's history, gone in minutes. Many businesses assume that ordinary metal file cabinets are fireproof. But the truth is, most standard metal cabinets provide little or no fire protection at all. That's where FireKing makes the FireKing has remained the trusted standard for file and record protection. Because when it comes to protecting your most important documents, real protection is the only option. FireKing is made and manufactured in the USA and is available in Nigeria exclusively at Stevenson Brothers Limited, where quality is our watchword. Visit our website today at www.stevensonbrothersltd.com or connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at SBL_Nigeria. Experience quality at its peak at Stevenson Brothers Limited.
Biscon Show at 27, Through the Lens of a Nation. In 1999, a nation and a television institution began a remarkable journey together. As Nigeria emerged from decades of military rule and embraced a new democratic era, millions of citizens watched history unfold. On that same historic path, the Biscon Show embarked on a mission that would transcend television to become a living archive of a nation's triumphs, transitions, celebrations, and defining moments. For 27 uninterrupted years, as democracy found its footing and evolved, the cameras of the Biscon Show followed the heartbeat of Nigeria. from the inauguration of President Olusegun Obasanjo in 1999, which marked the rebirth of democratic governance, to the swearing-in ceremonies of Presidents Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Muhammadu Buhari, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, BOS was there, documenting the changing faces of leadership and the enduring aspirations of a nation. The story of modern Nigeria is not written only in government documents or newspaper headlines. It is written in moments, moments preserved through images, voices, emotions, and memories. Moments that today reside within the rich archives of the Bisi Olatilo Show. As democracy matured, BOS chronicled the ceremonies that celebrated excellence and national service. From the national honors conferred under different administrations, including those of President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, President Goodluck Jonathan, President Muhammadu Buhari, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the program captured the occasions when the nation paused to honor its finest sons and daughters. Industrial giants, statesmen, entrepreneurs, philanthropists, and nation builders, including Aliko Dangote, Dr. Mike Adenuga, General Yakubu Gowon, and many others passed through moments of national recognition witnessed and preserved by BOS. The program was equally present during some of Nigeria's proudest moments of sporting glory. In 2013, when the Super Eagles conquered Africa and returned home as champions of the continent, the cameras of BOS captured the excitement, the celebrations, and the historic conferment of national honors upon the victorious team by President Goodluck Jonathan. It was a moment when an entire nation stood united in pride, and BOS was there to preserve that collective memory for generations yet unborn. Beyond politics and sports, the program became a witness to the social and cultural fabric of Nigeria. It documented grand state ceremonies, historic gatherings, prestigious award presentations, landmark lectures, and moments of national reflection. It recorded the grandeur of presidential balls, including the memorable celebration following President Goodluck Jonathan's electoral victory in 2011. Attended by some of Nigeria's most influential figures in business and public life. The Bisi Olatilo Show also stood as a custodian of heritage and tradition. Its cameras journeyed through palaces, ancient kingdoms, and cultural festivals that have defined the Nigerian identity. From the colorful splendor of the Eyo Festival in Lagos to the enduring traditions of the Ojúde-Ọba Festival and the Lishabi Festival, BOS documented the stories that connect modern Nigeria to its ancestral roots. The program witnessed the installation of monarchs, including the historic ascension of the Olu of Warri, preserving ceremonies that symbolize continuity, identity, and cultural pride. The archive stretches even further, capturing the vibrant spectacle of the Calabar Carnival from the pioneering era of Governor Donald Duke through successive administrations, documenting the Lagos Black Heritage Festival that showcased the richness of African civilization, and recording countless events that celebrated the creativity, resilience, and diversity of the Nigerian people. Yet, history is not only about celebrations, it is also about moments of collective grief and national reflection. BOS documented solemn occasions that united Nigerians in mourning, including the grand burial ceremonies of the late First Lady Stella Obasanjo and other significant state and national funerals. Through these moments, the program demonstrated its commitment to telling the complete story of a nation, its joys, its sorrows, and its enduring spirit. Perhaps nowhere is the value of the Bisi Olatilo Show more evident than in its archives. Within its vast collection lies a visual history of Nigeria's democratic journey, thousands of hours of footage capturing leaders, institutions, traditions, celebrations, and milestones that have shaped the country since 1999. It is a priceless national treasure, a reservoir of memories, and a testament to the vision of Prince Bisi Olatilo, whose commitment to excellence transformed a television program into one of Nigeria's most important audiovisual chronicles. As Nigeria celebrates 27 years of uninterrupted democracy, the Biscon Show celebrates 27 years of preserving that democratic journey. Together, they have grown. Together, they have evolved. Together, they have written a story of resilience, continuity, and hope. And as the next chapter unfolds, the cameras continue to roll, preserving today for tomorrow and ensuring that the story of Nigeria and Nigerians will never be forgotten.
Hello, welcome to Biscon TV News. I am Jones Hussein. First, the headline stories. Eid al-Maulud. Tinubu urges Muslims to embrace Prophet's virtues. 2027. APC denies withdrawing Tinubu campaign council list. In business, Customs, World Customs Organization and UK partner on corruption risk mapping procedures. Foreign news, Interpol arrests 58 in global crackdown on Black Axe crime network. And in sports, Ethiopia bids to host 2028 AFCON. And now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu has urged Muslims across the country to use this year's Eid al-Maulud celebration to renew their commitment to the virtues of devotion, perseverance, tolerance, humility, and selflessness, exemplified by Prophet Muhammad, peace be on him. The President, who congratulated the Muslim faithful on the commemoration of the birth of the Holy Prophet, said the occasion should go beyond festivities to serve as a period of introspection, prayer, and reflection on the Prophet's teachings. Tinubu also called on religious leaders to use the occasion to offer prayers for Nigeria and encourage their followers to translate the lessons of the Prophet's life into greater commitment to the peace, unity, and progress of the country. The All Progressives Congress APC has dismissed reports that it withdrew the list of members of its 2027 Presidential Campaign Council for review. The party's National Publicity Secretary, Felix Morka, described the report as rumors, saying any changes to the list would be formally announced. The APC had unveiled the Campaign Council on Saturday with President Tinubu as chairman, Vice President Kashim Shettima, and APC National Chairman Netawe. Senator Abdulaziz Yari was Governor's Forum. Hope Uzodinma was appointed Secretary. The development comes amid criticism from opposition figures over the composition of the Campaign Council. Severe traffic congestion is ongoing along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway following a trailer accident that occurred at around 1 a.m. on Tuesday. According to news reports, the trailer fell on the expressway at around 1 a.m. and was yet to be removed as of Tuesday morning, leaving motorists with only one available lane to navigate the affected section. Confirming the incident, Lagos State Traffic Management Authority spokesperson Akinbiyi Babatunde advised motorists to consider alternative routes where practicable, including the old Lagos Songo Ifo Ewekoro Abeokuta Expressway, the Shagamu Shotubo Ogijo Ikorodu Expressway, and the Jebode Ekpe Expressway. A quick break now for business news. Welcome back. In business, the Nigeria Customs Service (NCS) has partnered with the World Customs Organization (WCO) and the United Kingdom International Development to strengthen its internal anti-corruption framework through corruption risk analysis, risk mapping, and the development of standard operating procedures, SOPs. Speaking at the workshop at the NCS headquarters in Maitama, Abuja, the Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, said the exercise was aimed at strengthening institutional growth, integrity, and corruption risk management. The Customs Boss reaffirmed the service's commitment to measures that promote transparency, accountability, stronger internal crisis controls, and process simplification. A quick break now to bring you foreign news. Welcome back. On the foreign scene, Interpol has arrested 58 people and identified 263 suspects in an 8-month international operation targeting West African organized crime groups, including the Black Axe Network. Operation Jackal 4, which ran from November 2025 to June 2026 across 22 countries, focused on disrupting money laundering, cyber-enabled financial fraud, recovering criminal assets, and supporting arrests and prosecutions. The operation led to the seizure of about $2.67 million and the blocking of 257 bank accounts. Interpol also uncovered criminal networks involved in romance and investment scams, money laundering, and the growing use of sextortion to target minors. We'll take a break now to share sports news with you. Audio Welcome back. In sports, Ethiopia has formally submitted its bid to host the Africa Cup of Nations AFCON in 2028, which would be its first in more than half a century. The bid faces numerous obstacles, including ongoing insurgencies in the country's two most populous states, Amhara and Oromia, as well as threats of renewed civil war between the federal government and the northern Tigray region. The Ethiopian team ranks 143rd out of 211 by FIFA listings and last played in the biennial AFCON tournament in 2022 when it was eliminated in the group stage. And on to our final break for entertainment news. In entertainment, actress Bumi Nelson has expressed regret for looking down on Funke Akindele in their early careers, saying she never envisioned the extent of Akindele's success today. Nelson made the admission during an interview on the Talk to B podcast with actress Biola Adebayo. The actress recalled turning down an opportunity to work with Akindele when she was just starting out. Using the experience to caution the public, she urged the public not to look down on anyone except when you are admiring their shoelace. The actress added that the experience taught her humility. Funke Akindele has since become one of Nigeria's most successful filmmakers, with multiple box office hits and producing credits to her name. That's the news on Biscon TV, compiled and produced by David Asher. I am Jones Hussein. Many thanks for watching. for duty, as you can see, because the newspapers are here, and so we make to share the headline stories with you. But my co-anchor is the one you already know, is the inimitable Aki Fatunke. I greet you.
Thank you very much, Citizen Jones. Always a pleasure to be with you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time you watch this podcast.
All right. New Telegraph is the new first paper here, and the lead story: why APC NWC members lost out in presidential campaign council appointments.
Politics is into question of the check, recheck, uncheck, and before we eventually go public. It's becoming one time too many. And I was going to say that politics is defined as who gets what, whom, where, and how.
And what.
So we should, one expects that this kind of thing will naturally happen. Just give us a refined product, but we should not be going to and fro on issues like this.
All right, Ndume to opposition. Sell your ideas to Nigerians. Stop dwelling on Tinubu's certificate.
100%. Nothing to add, nothing to deduct. Thank you.
Fubara reaffirms commitment to fiscal discipline, the defense payroll cleanup.
Now, Fubara, after the EPS storms, has a little time, if you ask me,
to reflect,
to to underscore legacy, and whatever he does now and does it well, will stand in for him. Well, they say talk is cheap, but let's see how that manifests.
2027, Oberevori's performance beyond challenge, says Aniago.
Okay, well, always one side of looking at the coin, and as you always say,
the coin has three sides.
Thank you very much. So the other side will say something, and those of us who stay on the sideline will be able to judge. Time will tell.
U.S. set to revoke 200,000 visas, officials say.
Okay, well, so as usual, you should expect that will also include just own sincerely country, Nigeria, many countries in Africa.
Yeah, the country reserve the right to determines who comes in or goes out.
Okay.
Nigeria loses $17.72 billion to illicit financial flows.
That has been stemmed in the tide, let me say. The velocity of such losses since the Cardoso-led CBN monetary system, but we are still not there, not yet to Uhuru. We can still do more.
NNPC, others, BWSAP to attract $21 billion investment to Nigeria.
Another green mark. Biro green mark to tell you that the investment policies of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu
yielding results?
Is yielding relative, superlative results.
Okay.
Did you notice what I said? Relative, depending on where you stand,
Yeah.
but superlative results.
Yeah.
If you look at the situations where it could have been worse, the hole could have been deeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Edo Assembly converts ex-speaker's resignation to impeachment.
They say when it rains, it pours. The fire next time. Baldwin, I'm quoting.
Okay.
The beleaguered speaker. I wish him well, and I wish Edo State well.
NAFDAC to manufacturers. Recall banned sachet alcohol, small PET bottles in circulation now.
You know, it's gone a bit. Mrs. Adeyeye has paid her dues. And
you mean Professor Adeyeye?
Professor Mrs. Adeyeye has repeatedly said what needs to be said. I know opposition at one point in time when they went to Onisha said, it might just be that you are taking the livelihood of people. But we must be strict. We must have the human face. And again, for an umpteenth time, I think we should try and comply.
All right. Gunmen release video showing 600 people abducted from Niger Mosque.
Citizen Jones,
we should call the bluff of these people.
As we move towards 2027, what you have just read as a headline is going to be the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
God bless Nigeria.
2027, Obi Amechi Showore clash at NBA's conference.
It was a real clash. So. I don't know if you watched it. It is in Jones. It was Showore shooting from the hips. It was no more a saber rattle. And of course, Amechi was
stood his ground.
No, I mean, fighting virtually to try and
stop Showore,
disprove Showore. But Showore kept on saying, "Look, I'm not attacking you, but look, your records are not showing." And also said in the open about Peter Obi that you may like Peter Obi, you may shout about Peter Obi, audience, but Peter Obi's records of governance in Anambra State was not much to be desired. So the brickbats went on, and then they threw his own back at him. In fact, a high point was when Mr. Peter Obi got up and he was going to quote some statistics, and then his tongue got twanged, you know.
Okay.
And a few people at the back were saying
it was a fireworks. It was fireworks.
That what would be crammed, the numbers statistically crammed. That
they put simply, it was fireworks on display.
Fireworks and anti-fireworks.
All right. Decaf coffee may benefit gut brain health, according to a study.
Okay, studies also say it may not benefit depending on your composition, your body. But let the research continue.
Daily Sun. Next. APC will remain in power beyond 2031, boasts Yari, Tinubu's campaign DG.
Oh, well. So
says Atiku will be others incapable of stopping president.
Okay, so that's one side of it. The other side will come smoking like smoking guns, and then we'll see what the side will say.
All right.
Time of politics.
Anglican bishop to federal government. Stop denying hardship in Nigeria.
Honestly speaking, I agree with Anglican bishops that there is hunger in Nigeria. Senator Jones, I am not aware that even you as a broadcaster have ever said there is no hunger in Nigeria and me. But what is very interesting is that the federal government also has acknowledged. So do we really need the Anglican to now then say, the federal government should not deny? Federal government should not deny. Of course, the Anglicans should also talk to the subnationals who are in charge of making sure.
So governance is a two-way street.
Three-way street.
Okay, there's a third side.
Yes.
Okay.
The neutral. We expect neutrality from church, from mosques, from
the pulpit and the member.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Okay. Stop divisive utterances, actions. Tinubu wants Nigerians.
More than timely. And it should not just be Tinubu. All opposition leaders should say and do the same thing. But I'm happy that President Bola Tinubu is leading the pack here, there, and of course, buck stops on the table. So it's made it clear.
Okay. Return to fuel subsidy will reverse economic gains, federal government. You share the sentiment?
The discussions is continuing. It's continuing. But I can say, perhaps you and perhaps Nigerians are talking about the industry for past 30 years. Fuel subsidy 30 years ago. So you know where I stand.
All right. Ogun APC crisis deepens. Leaders fight dirty.
Well, you have to continue. The gladiators. And I have a gut feel that the Grand Master of Politics himself, President Bola Tinubu, as the leader, will have some calming influence after the storm.
Okay, U.S. pledges $125,000 to preserve 4,000-year-old Enugu iron smelting site.
Good point.
Okay.
Governor Peter Obi, let me...
Peter Mba.
Yeah, okay. Governor Peter Mba, let me say congratulations for that. Let me also say, beyond what I should naturally say to the whole of Nigeria and federal government, your governance at the subnational level in Nigeria is a great record. Your green intervention is a national record. So one of the best performing governors in Nigeria today.
Nigeria's external reserves gained $7.09 billion, hit $52.66 billion.
In economic financial terms, we talk about covers for how many months that is going to cover to help boost stability.
All right.
Congratulations, Nigeria. Congratulations, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's a nice one.
This day, next. The lead story. NNPC, ESO, AGIP move towards FID target $21 billion inflow.
A great moment for Nigeria. More than ever, the policies of the federal government of Nigeria is attracting foreign investments, direct and portfolio. Shell that left the shores of Nigeria and said they will never come back are not only coming back, but they are putting and dipping in. Congratulations to Nigeria. What we just want to see is how this has created to help buoy the stability that we have and then let it percolate to the downtrodden.
Mine is the name ESO. Is coming back.
Super.
Okay. Kwankwaso, APC's Presidential Campaign Council represents continuous hardship.
Well, it also represents continuous stability, if you like to say. Like I said earlier, there are three sides. So the APC chairman has made a point. Kwankwaso is also making a point. It's like, pot calling the kettle black. They are all shame of shame. Interesting times ahead.
Tinubu pays glowing tribute to Sultan of Sokoto, Saad Mohammed Abubakar III at 70.
Congratulations, the Sultan. And please note on this, I will not call Sultan by first name. I'll call him Alhaji Abubakar, Saad of Sokoto. Congratulations, great one.
All right, IGP, securing Nigeria comes at heavy cost. Honors 10 fallen police officers.
There's absolutely no doubt about that. And I join
the IG, the police family.
The Inspector General of Police Tunji Disu to mourn these fallen police officers. Hopefully, unexpectedly, their insurance will pay to their families.
US imposes a fleet and others.
The battle is yet to be over in what we have in the Middle East and the US. I join people who pray that sanity will prevail.
Okay. So we are done with this day. Next will be the Nigerian Tribune. The Tribune is here. The lead story is also here. Fuel subsidy sparks debate at NBA conference in Rivers.
That was the bring back, the one I mentioned here and there. Name calling, what did you do? A rail that you built during Buhari's time leading to nowhere. And then, of course, people now say, Showore, why you are always accusing, what exactly can you do? And then he came firing at all cylinders, like I said earlier. It was an interesting, you call it fireworks, yes. Fireworks and brimstone.
All right. NNPC, Shell, others signed Bonga Southwest Akbaro deal, target FID.
Super time for Nigeria, super time for the oil and gas industry. We ain't seen nothing yet. Let's fix our security and let's fix our politics.
Police honor 10 fallen officers as IG vows to crush banditry and others after Kebbi battle.
I touch my cap in honor of the fallen police officers. And my heart, my soul, my spirit goes to the families left behind.
2027, INEC yet to get full funding 5 months to general election.
But again, at the end of the day, INEC will not be the one that everybody's going to be accusing.
The fall guy.
The fall guy. So that is calling on all parties, federal government inclusive. Please release the funds that have been appropriated.
All right. 2 killed as NURTW motor park officials clash in Oshun.
Terrible. Again, as we move towards the elections, more blood will flow, but I pray I'm wrong.
JAM automates candidates' O-level results upload, begins direct verification with exam bodies.
Super. Congratulations, Professor. You are starting on a very good note.
All right.
Let's make sure that we use technology to cure some of the ailments that has bedeviled that institution.
All right. Nigeria lost $1.73 billion to flooding in 3 years.
Again, flooding and flooding and flooding and flooding. The Lagdo Dam hopefully should be receiving some kind of attention, and people who are in lowlands should please heed the warning by emirates.
All right. There's a study here released recently. It said climbing stairs linked to 39% lower risk of heart disease death.
Well, common sense tells me that when you are climbing the stairs, you don't need to race.
Yeah.
You need to be able to pause. You need to be able to, as much as possible, hold the railings against falls.
Okay.
Careful is the word.
All right. Tinubu flags off dualization of 56.5 kilometer Ibadan-Ijebu-Ode road.
Okay, that will be an inner road. We seek the government to also look at the Edo angle.
Oh, yeah.
The Edo Delta angle.
Okay. Vanguard newspaper. Opposition parties lash Yari over APC will rule beyond 2031 vow.
It's the other side of what we said. PDP at one time said they were going to rule for 60 years. And,
they didn't mean 60 or 16.
Well, they said they were going to be 60. And less than 4 or 5 years after.
Okay. So it's politics.
No. It's politics.
All right. Between filth and survival, the hard life along the canal.
It's terrible. Lagos is full of filth. Governor Sanwo-Olu, this is not a bright moment. No matter the excuses that we have, Lagos is full of filth.
Okay. Fake agency. Court order protects us, says DG marked for arrest.
So let's see how the court order will continue to fix. Don't forget the wheel of justice grinds slowly, but grinds perfectly well, and everything will come to a comeuppance.
I think the Yorubas have a phrase relevant here. Aitete mole.
Ole nsalo.
Ole mole le or something.
Okay, well, aitete mole.
When
the bandit or the thief comes to your house and you don't shout and you don't catch him, he will call you the culprit.
Yeah. Tinubu, Abiodun, others mourn as late actor Ogogo is buried.
Ogogo,
good night, brother.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Your legacy continues.
NBA confirmed Obi disagrees with Atiku on fuel subsidy removal.
Again, what Obi said resonates with me personally. You do not throw away the baby with the bathwater. If the bathwater is bad, you can change, the water. First major Atiku is Obi's uncle, quote and unquote. As we move on, you will see alignment.
All right, U.S. warns Nigerians over fake documents in visa applications.
Again, so those who go to procure the world is a secret now.
Those who want to bolt by hook or crook must think twice.
AI will bolt you out. Superior technology will bolt you out. Be very careful.
Underage drinking. NAFDAC begins street-by-street alcohol crackdown.
Certain quarters.
NKST Church rejects Benue ranching plan.
Well, I don't know what really is entailed, but ranching is the way to go.
Yeah.
Maybe they are trying to wiggle and woggle on certain things about land ownership, which, from experience, carefulness has to come into being. But ranching is the way to go.
All right. Awujale's stool. Royal family drags Ogun governor kingmakers to court.
I think it's getting a bit hoary, and there's no way that the politics will not be read into this. The Ogun State governor, Mr. Dapo Abiodun, needs to rise above the fray and do what is needful.
The Guardian here. The lead story also here. Commuters, businesses groan as Edo Delta gridlock cuts off South-South.
I have seen a couple of clips. I have made personal remarks as regards how people have escalated that.
Yeah.
It is now very glaring that the suffering on that road is unbearable.
In fact, photographs on the front page of the Guardian underscore what you're saying.
It is most unfortunate. Mr. David Umahi has made some moves. He moves to move.
Needs faithful, not religious president, says Ido Fieron.
Mr. Ferron, not only faithful, balanced, not religious, and those who exacerbated the religiosity type of politics about calling elections in 2023 as war. I hope adequate lessons have been learned. It shouldn't be, at the end of the day, a Nigeria that can work.
CDHR, that's Community for the Defense of Human Rights, demands probe of fake government agencies. We do too.
We have discovered two down. We don't know how many more that we have. I like to say, without fear of contradiction, the Office of the Secretary to the Government of Nigeria has had more than enough own goals. Self-introspection to come into it. This is embarrassing.
All right. Dangote halts blend stock imports as domestic petrol supply falls 21%.
Again, Dangote as the man to beat, as a man that has a vision
and a mission
and values to go with it. I think if he says that is what is going to happen, let's listen, let's do rectification if there is any, and let's also support if there's any need to support.
All right. Banks account for 92% of suspicious transactions filed in 2025.
Again, we are talking about illicit. Go under that we hardly can be able to see. I'm happy that the CBN governor will be looking at the call that has been made at fintechs to also be listed on the stock exchange, hopefully, and governments will be able to look at that.
Yeah.
Not yet Uhuru, but we are on our way.
All right. Obi Showore differ with Atiku over proposed return of petrol subsidy.
Again, when you separate men from boys, you'll be able to get the truth. I disagree that Atiku should not be listened to. Let's listen to him. Let's draw the scenarios. You know, there is a Yoruba saying that if there is a spitting in the eye, you do not see it, the eye will not see it, but you take your finger, remove the spitting, and then be able to see. So realistically, we can't go back to our Babylon, and we must press forward. But Atiku's position about where the money is going, the kind of priorities and all that, is also something that we should consider.
But as the former vice president forgotten that his state Adamawa collects more money from the federation account.
Well, so
ostensibly coming from the subsidy removal.
Okay, so let me help you answer that. Lithium assembly plant in Africa is there for everybody to see. But at least
so he has money to do.
He has money to do that.
Okay.
And if we go back to subsidy, we have to close that kind of plant.
All right. States impose hidden fees on operators despite slashing ROW charges.
Return on investment charges. Again, we must continue to keep our eyes on sharp practices that might go on. But I'm confident that we have a headmaster, and the one I call a headmaster is Dr. Yemi Cardoso, and it's spread in terms of control.
Yeah.
And anyone that is caught should be really penalized.
Awujale, Fonsegbowa ruling house sues a boy
house. They've been on this for a long time, and Governor Abiodun, this is the time for you to act.
Okay.
Yes.
Oshun, 2 feared dead as violence rocks Ikire community.
Okay. The transport union workers, Oshun has shed enough blood in the last 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Enough should be enough.
Nigeria advances $21 billion Bonga Deepwater project 25 years after.
Super time for Nigeria. Congratulations, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
All right. Next, we deal with the nation. The nation is here, and the lead story is also here. Why coalition consensus failed by Atiku Obi Sowore.
Okay, so we are not going to field failure come January. So the earlier they are able to get themselves together,
the better.
Not just the better. Let Obi fly the ticket, and everybody line behind him. Obi, swallow your pride. Sowore, swallow your pride. Let Atiku fly the ticket so that you can find a way to slug it out with Tinubu.
All right, governors won't have absolute control of state police.
If you read the police, yourself, there are checks and balances. And even Mr. President, even state governors will not have direct control. Everybody should play their own parts.
Play by the rules.
The state assemblies, the national assemblies have to play their parts. So if everything goes that way, there's really no fear or little fear.
All right. How terrorism financiers hide funds by NFIU.
Yes, they hide funds by collaboration, they hide funds by insider, and they hide funds by, people
insider participation
in high places.
Okay.
It's unfortunate.
Ibadan Ijebode dualized road ready in 36 months.
Congratulations to that internal road that is going, in spite of Sokoto Badagry still on, Lagos Calabar still on. I think that should be intensified. Please, let's look at the South, the Edo bypass, the Benin bypass.
Minister, Nel Fund has disbursed 332 billion naira as student loan.
Either way you look at it, I dare say congratulations again to Nigerians under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's something to be
APC membership in Gombe.
He has always been talking tough. It's good to have it. No, sorry. I'm
mixing
him up with the senator in Borno.
Okay.
Again, he has made that reaffirmation. It's not the first time. It's not the second time that he says it's going to be in there with APC, swim, or sing.
Tinubu leads tribute for Ogogo as Nollywood actor is buried.
Super.
Yeah.
Ogogo.
Good night.
Go in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
At 66 years old.
As they say, Ogogo is in a better place now.
Wow. You have left a legacy.
The Punch. Next. Terrorists using dead persons' accounts and crowdfunding, NFIU.
Again, we must find a way to audit around the computer forensics. As long as it is not going to be garbage in, garbage out, and internal collaboration, we'll get there.
U.S. steps up military training for Nigerian troops.
Okay, right, again, contrary to what?
As the U.S. Africa Command.
Exactly. That's a nice indicator. There are people in opposition who are still insisting that U.S. should do the otherwise to Nigeria. But the headline that you have read there proves contrary.
Poor varsity rankings could stunt Africa's growth, Jonathan.
Absolutely. In the journey of 1,000 miles, let's begin with the first step. That fund that's coming first time since God knows when. Let's unearth our talent and let the poor also be able to breathe.
2027 debate, Obi Amechi differ over subsidy.
There will always be a difference. Challenging Atiku. So Atiku has to try and prove by way of scenario, by way of econometric, to give us what if. Okay, I mean, let's go the way you wanted to do. What if?
Have you considered this logic that one way of bringing back subsidy would be to repeal the PIB bill?
Yes.
Or law.
PIA
law.
Yes, not
That's a tall order.
No, in fact, that's more than a giant order. That's how do you put it out? The camera wanting to pass through the air of the
on the needle. Awujale, ruling house sues Ogun kingmakers.
Fusegbowa ruling house is not happy. Many people are still not happy as regards what should happen to the succession to the Awujale of Asiku Adetono. And the governor should take heed.
All right. Ex-actor Ogogo buried. Tinubu Abiodun mourn.
And
we mourn too.
The Taiwo, the Ogogo family and the children, our thoughts, our prayers will always continue to remain with you. Your daddy left a legacy.
7 killed, 2 injured in Ogun crash.
Unfortunately, again, at this time, with the rains, with the state of roads, we need to be extra careful at driving.
NNPC partners advance $21 billion Bonga offshore project.
Super news for Nigeria.
Okay, last but not least paper here is the Daily Trust. The lead story in the Daily Trust is this: why Tinubu pulled back campaign council list?
Because
superior logic came.
Not just superior logic. Maybe it was hurried and there are certain people, in my honest opinion, that should not be there.
Okay.
There are people who are still answering questions from the courts. Just does not make sense. And it's a bit too unwieldy. It should be trimmed down.
30 killed in attacks on 4 Niger mosques.
Most unfortunate. Our thoughts to our Muslim brethren, even as we mark Eid al-Maulud today. But those who have lost their lives, it's unfortunate. It cannot be a genocide against Muslims. Just like you said, it cannot be genocide against Christians.
Yeah.
The terrorists are out for all.
Governor Buni, Tinubu's advisor, donates 600 million naira for Jibu's varsity.
Yeah, right. So
the details in Daily Trust today.
Please crack Daily Trust. I think that's a positive one.
And this one, curious. 2027, meet the women seeking presidency.
Okay, all right. Let's see more of women participation, and women should also support women. I think affirmative action should begin to show itself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Police honor 10 officers killed by bandits.
I commiserate with the families. I commiserate with Nigeria. And my thoughts goes to all of us, as security is everybody's business.
Missing cyclist found dead in uncompleted building.
What a shame. That's terrible. Man's inhumanity to man. Terrible.
Case over status of Made in Nigeria project in court, director.
Yeah, right. So, Made in Nigeria projects, Made in Nigeria products, we can get there. And I think Abai is resurrecting.
Okay. 2 picture stories, front page Daily Trust. The one shows Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief Bola Tinubu receiving in audience Alhaji Saleh Amadu, Madakin Lokoja Chairman, Bergman Security Consultant and Supplies. The other picture shows Senator Goje reaffirming membership of APC in Go.
Good luck.
So, Bill, get your own papers. Go through the headlines, and you'll be ahead. Bye-bye now. Thank you, Mr. Fadunke, for your intervention.
Welcome.
Well, bye-bye now until the next time.
Oluwafori's wife speaks on love, culture, and the future. In an interview, Olori Ivie Atuashe III, wife of the Oluwafori, reflected on the 5 years of the king's reign, describing the journey as one that feels like 5 months and at the same time 50 years.
I would say it's seeing how the women in the kingdom have become more naturally elevated. I always give the stories of how the chief's wives have now become more esteemed in many ways, and more recognized, and they're no longer asking for permission, they're owning their voice, and I'm really thankful for that. I really love the esteem of women in the kingdom. And the most challenging, there have been many. I think if I was to think about it, it would be, I wouldn't even call it challenging. I think it would be what I used to learn leadership. And I think it's understanding the dynamics of human nature and the differences in different people, and just learning how to enlarge my heart to love every person.
Olori Ivie also spoke about the need to connect future generations to their roots, encouraging young people to understand, embrace, and proudly represent their culture.
My platform as mother above queen. I always say I'm a mother more than I'm a queen. And I try to use the platform of privilege to serve the people that I've been giving responsibility over. And my 2 pillars are agency and access. I make sure that the people come to, in every program that we do, whether it's Women Allying Women or Establisher with our women, my goal is to make sure that they have a sense of agency, that they own their lives, and to unlock, or to release people, especially women, from that learned sense of helplessness, and then to give them access to skills, access to network, access to finance, above many other things. That for me is what, whether it's Women Allying Women, which is run under under Elevate Africa, or Establisher, which is run under the Royal Iwera Foundation, seeks to do. And with these programs, with Establish Her, we're looking to literally establish her.
She further acknowledged the role of His Majesty Ogiame Atuashe III in preserving and promoting the identity of the Warri Kingdom, stressing that the responsibility of keeping the culture alive belongs to everyone.
The strong family unit behind the closed door is our primary foundation. We are first husband and wife. We are first a strong unit together. And we take those duties very seriously. We take our bond and our connection very seriously. Obviously, everything is embedded under God. God is our third chord. And then we take it from there to do anything that we're doing, whether it's mother and father, whether it's king and queen. We do everything first in union with God and then with each other.
Football added a vibrant sporting touch to the grand celebration, marking 5 years on the throne of His Majesty Ogiame Atuashe III, the Oluwafori, bringing together royalty, dignitaries, football legends, and sports enthusiasts. The program commenced with the national anthem, followed by the women's encounter between Ebiren Olori women's team and Koda FA, with Ebiren Olori securing a 1-0 victory.
The additional police officer, A. Division Warri, your presence is acknowledged. We thank you for your presence. Wonderful, go. 1-0 for Koda FA. 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 1- by Ibrahim, it is Sheke Ladies Society in honor of Olori. Good touch. Wonderful one. Jesus Christ. Wonderful. Good touch. And the Kodapa, it is something special. You can see some of the players, some excited, others feeling a little bit down. The goalkeeper of Team Kodapa receiving some medical attention.
The men's novelty match followed, with Prince Temisa Emiko's red team taking on Sheriff Overwori's blue team. Before kickoff, His Majesty, the Olu of Wari, visited both teams and met with the players. The first half ended 1-1, setting the stage for an exciting second half. During the break, the crowd was entertained by performances from Odumodu Black and Orishefemi. The second half delivered the decisive moments, with Obafemi Martin scoring twice to give the red team a commanding 3-1 victory over the blue team. The novelty match featured Nigerian football legends including Kanu Nwankwo, Obafemi Martins, Mutu Adepoju and Daniel Amokachi, alongside other football personalities. The celebration concluded with the players, legends and guests taking photographs with His Majesty, the Olu of Wari, bringing the memorable football program to a fitting close. Wari came alive in grand style as royalty, government officials, business leaders, community groups and well-wishers gathered to celebrate 5 years on the throne of His Majesty, Ogiame Atuashi III, followed by prayers led by Solomon Adeyinka, the APC chairman in Delta State. Leading the dignitaries was the governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, followed by the governor of Delta State, Right Honorable Sheriff Francis Ovorowori, the host governor. The occasion was also graced by prominent traditional rulers, including Oba Bimbola Akim Owade I, the Alafin of Oyo, Dr. Greg Oputa III, the Obi of Abo, Oba Jibade Gbadigeshin Ogunye III, the Olowo of Owo, and Oba Said Ademola Elegushi Kushenla III, the Elegushi of Ikateland. Also present was Olori Temitope Ogunwusi, representing the House of Ududua. Other distinguished guests included Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa and her husband, Mr. Shegun Erewa. The celebration continued. The event later moved to the royal address, with His Majesty Ogiame Atuashi III addressing the gathering, followed by remarks from the governor of Delta State.
We are grateful to God for 5 years of grace, 5 years of what only He could do. We broke out in song exactly 5 years ago. If I had time, I would sing again. I am forever singing in my heart, giving God all the grace, all the glory, all the praise. I say it again, everything you see here is not me. It is God that is shining through me. It is God that is expressing himself through me. Shakiri, we are just privileged to be the first partakers through this vessel of what God is doing. But what God is doing through this throne, I say it again, is beyond Ishakiri. It is for Delta State. It is for Nigeria. And it just goes to say that, Your Excellency, and I'm even glad, Babajide Sanwo-Olu is here, the governor of Lagos. We are trying to imbibe, and by the grace of God we will, a spirit of excellence in this our beautiful regal culture. Because I know when we are excellent in displaying our culture, Your Excellencies, Nigeria will be the envy of the world. I am overwhelmed by the prayers, and may God continue to bless every single homes.
Ogami, I thank you for listening to your people. Like I said, you listen to them. Take the good one, the bad one, leave it for them. On this note, I want to once again congratulate the Olu on this milestone. Your Majesty, may your reign be long, and may you continue to grow from strength to strength. Thank you very much for always praying for your son, for always standing by your son. Nothing will happen to your son. That is the prayer of every mother. See your son doing very well. Olu is doing very well. He listens to the government, he listens to his people. Like I have said, all the good things, he will use it, put it in place to see how we can have peace in this state. But all the bad ones, he will keep them. The chiefs, they are listening to me. I always say the truth. I'll be worried boy. I'll be no so. Thank you very much. Thank you, and God bless you all.
To mark 5 years of the Olu of Warri's reign. The Thanksgiving Shade III, the Olu of Warri, was held on Sunday, August 23rd, 2026, at the King's Dominion Church, bringing together members of the Warri Kingdom, family, friends, and well-wishers in gratitude to God. The service featured powerful worship and praise from the Royal Iwere Choir, who led the congregation in songs of thanksgiving and celebration. The first Bible reading was taken from Psalm 113 by Pluref Lawrence Wilbert, followed by the reading in the Shekiri language by Pastor Omagbemi Kakayo. The Royal Iwere Choir returned with another inspiring performance, preparing the congregation for the message of the day. The sermon was delivered by Bishop Mills Latu, who shared a message centered on faith, gratitude, and God's continued guidance.
To many of us, it's the end of the year when we take envelopes and go and give
people to contribute money for bazaar. But what actually is Thanksgiving? Somebody shout with me. It's a deep expression of gratitude and appreciation for the blessings of God in our lives. A deep-seated, hearty gratitude and appreciation that doesn't come from the lips alone, but comes from the heart for the many things, for the big things and the small things that God has done. Thanksgiving is the active response to God's character, to God's grace, and his sovereign care over our lives. When you woke up, shields him and shields the throne, shields the family, so that every spirit bows to him based on the God that is in him and that is around him. This Thanksgiving is for us to approach him, not only with wonderful words, but also with substance. For if Thanksgiving is a compound word, it means thanks comes from the lips. But let me ask you, neighbor, what will you give to the Lord? Celebrate grace.
The Iwere Praise Choir then led the congregation in a vibrant session of praise before the service proceeded into the Thanksgiving. Speaking during the service, His Majesty Ogiame Atuashe III, the Olu of Warri, expressed his profound gratitude to God for his grace, protection and guidance throughout his 5 years on the throne, while thanking everyone who joined the kingdom in
5 years of his glory, 5 years of his protection, his provision, and his tangible presence in our midst. I even want to thank him in advance. Because by the special grace of God, everything, I said it on Friday, every single thing that we have seen in this last 5 years, it is the Lord's doing. Everything. There is absolutely nothing that comes from the idea of man. And as we have surrendered and submitted ourselves to be his vessel, this kingdom, this throne, will shine like never before. It is my prayer today that the Lord will give all of us correct vision so that we can correctly see the things that are before us, that our eyes will see correctly, so that when we see what looks like obstacles, we will understand that it is for us to overcome them and be elevated. We will never be swallowed.